The following is a presentation of Turner Sports, where this year you saw cable television's exclusive coverage of the 18th Winter Games from Nagano, Japan. Coming in July, the 4th Goodwill Games from New York.
Dennis Rodman, emotion in motion. Dennis Rodman, artistic enigma in living color. While many might question his style, few can challenge the substance that has become synonymous with Dennis Rodman. Alongside the myriad of eccentric terms so often used in describing Dennis must appear the word champion. Only Chicago's decorated duo can claim more rings among the league's active ranks. Some menace remains in Dennis, and as the playoffs approach, the Bulls know they still have their hands full. Doubleheader for you tonight, the NBA on TNT, and we begin in Chicago, west on Madison Street, where the Chicago Bulls host the Detroit Pistons tonight, both teams with 10 games remaining. And a moment ago, as the Pistons made their way to the court, you could almost imagine what they were thinking about the challenge that lies ahead, not only tonight, but for the remainder of the season, as they have an outside shot at the 8th and final playoff spot in the East. Going into play tonight, the Pistons have lost 2 in a row, and they find themselves 3 back in the loss column behind Orlando. Good evening, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Doc Rivers, and welcome to the 525th straight sellout here in Chicago. Why not come to watch the Bulls? Many in the country buried them earlier this season, but tonight they come in with the best record again at this point in the NBA. And what a contrast with Detroit, such high hopes as the season began. They dismissed Coach Doug Collins. Now they find themselves really scratching and clawing for a playoff spot. And Doc Rivers, the road ahead, the final 10 games, really rocky.
Yeah, it really is. It's amazing that Detroit is even in the playoff picture with all the turmoil that they've had this year. They believe if they win 8 out of the next 10 games, that they have a good shot of making the playoffs. Grant Hill has been great since the All-Star break, shooting 49% since then, and Jerry Stackhouse is starting to go on a roll.
Well, the Chicago Bulls back in December at one point were 4-4. Many in the country were ready to bury him. Certainly not you and me.
No.
And here they are. What do they have to fight for now for the final 10 games?
Well, it's funny. When you listen to the Bulls, they sound more desperate than the Pistons. They believe they have to win them all. Steve Kerr said, we have to win them all. That's 10 more games. That's 19 games in a row to go to the playoffs and get home court throughout. They know how important home court is throughout. Also, they're healthy. And that's for the first time this season, this team is healthy. Healthy guys, great basketball, Scottie Pippen back, Luke Longley back. I think this team has a chance to run the table.
All right. Well, Chicago and Detroit here tonight, and here's the kind of trend the Pistons are fighting. Their last victory in Chicago was in January, 8 years ago. It's a doubleheader night for you, the NBA on TNT. We tip it off with Chicago and Detroit, then a terrific ball game, Utah at Seattle.
In the Northwest, it rains 200 days a year. In the Sun Belt, the sun never stops. In the Heartland, weather is extreme. Your home has its own climate, and now it has its own paint. New Dutch Boy Climate Guard. 5 different exterior paints formulated to withstand the specific weather conditions in the 5 different regions of the country, guaranteed for 20 years. So wherever your home is, give it the special protection it needs. Give it the lasting look of new Dutch Boy Climate Guard paints.
Here it comes.
Relentless power, amazing agility, and a sleek, muscular shape. Introducing the Tiburon. Its name means shark.
Where do you see the red one?
Look out. It's a whole new Hyundai.
Schick Tracer FX is the only razor that flexes to cover every sensitive curve. A design so smart, you can feel it. Schick, the feel of smart design.
Night, boss. See you tomorrow. Introducing Kiwi car carrying products. Washes and waxes with rust guard. Protectants with end dust for that one-of-a-kind Kiwi shine. Kiwi car carrying products from the most trusted name in protection and shine.
He's awesome. The guy's unbelievable.
He can drive. He can block. He can jam. But can he go one-on-one with the father he never knew?
I figured it might need some fatherly advice. From who? From me.
Denzel Washington.
I was the one who put the ball in your hand. I was the one who put the ball in your crib.
You just like everybody else.
I ain't like everybody else. Everybody else needs your father.
A Spike Lee joint.
Are you ready? One-on-one, father and son.
He Got Game. Rated R. Starts May 1st everywhere.
The teams with the 3 best records in the NBA are all on TNT tonight. Must be more than one game. Michael and the Bulls host the Pistons in the opener of our doubleheader. Chicago has the best record in the biz. And later, we're going to the Pacific Northwest. Karl Malone and the Jazz traveling to Seattle for that showdown atop the Western Conference. Utah up by 1 game on the loss side over Seattle. And joining us in the studio, boy, who's that guy? 10-year NBA veteran Kenny Smith, whose NBA journey has included 3 appearances in the slam dunk competition and 2 championship rings as a member of the Houston Rockets of '94 and '95. You will see Kenny as we head down the stretch of the regular season and take you into the playoffs in just a shade over 3 weeks. It's great to see you again, big fella.
Glad to be a part of the dream team.
And I promise you, I'm not talking North Carolina hoops tonight. You get a reprieve tonight.
Well, I tried to find the closest suit I can to Carolina Blue.
You came pretty darn close, as a matter of fact. We're talking about teams that want to get in the playoffs, Kenny, and we're going to go to school with Kenny Smith, because when you're talking about playoff hoops, we're talking the 3 R's: refs, rest factor, and response. Take me with the refs first. What's their role?
Yeah, once the playoffs start, the referees change their whole game. The ticky-tack fouls, you have to go through people in the playoffs, and they're going to let the players decide the game on the court.
Rest factor.
Well, the rest factor is different, because in the playoffs, you might catch Chicago on a 4th game in 5 nights. You're not going to do that in the playoffs. They're going to have their rest. The good teams are going to be ready and prepared to play.
Response, you mean?
Well, you have to respond to a big loss or big win. It's how your team responds. I think a lot of times your team gets let down on a big win, or they might, on a big loss, take it too seriously. But in the playoffs, you got to be able to be even kill.
You know something about response on a Houston team that came out of the number 6 position to win the NBA title a few years ago. Kenny Smith here all night long. It's going to be a long night. 12 games on the NBA schedule, doubleheader, back with highlights at halftime, but coming up, that double dip starts with Michael and the Bulls hosting Detroit, and later you got the Mailman and the Jazz traveling to Seattle. What more could you want? Enjoy it, folks.
Most people tell you, oh, Rolling Rock's got the long neck so your hand doesn't get the beer all warm when you're holding it. The truth is, it's a survival of the fittest thing, natural selection. Think about it. Hot day, beer's in a cooler, ice is melting, water level rising. You got a longer neck, you don't drown. Basic evolution. I'm thinking of like writing a pamphlet.
Here it comes.
Relentless power, amazing agility, and a sleek, muscular shape. Introducing the Tiburon. Its name means shark.
Where do you see the red one?
Look out. It's a whole new Hyundai.
Traveling along, singing a song, side by side.
Want lobster? How about shrimp? Have both for only $11.99. Right now at Red Lobster, shrimp and lobster are together, side by side, for one very enticing price. So grab some food before this offer ends and enjoy. Because life on land is dry.
For some reason, Americans shake Polaroid photos while they develop. It's completely unnecessary, but it's no less strange than what they do in other countries. The vigorous head rub of China is just one of many methods. Most are physical, but some are purely spiritual. In India, the anticipation can last months, while the Scots, as they often do, turn to their livestock. But regardless of the means, the enjoyment of seeing what develops is indeed universal.
The
NBA on TNT is brought to you by Hyundai, where driving is believing. Test drive one at your local Hyundai dealer today. By Red Lobster. If you like the finger roll, you'll love our cheddar rolls. Red Lobster, because life on land is dry. By Fila, featuring the new GH4s. Change the game. And by 100 grand from Nestle. Now that's rich.
Another full house at the United Center in its 4th year of operation as the home of the Chicago Bulls. Tonight they host the Detroit Pistons, who come in with a record of 34-38. Joe Dumars, Lindsey Hunter in the backcourt. Grant Hill, Brian Williams, and Don Reed up front. Alvin Gentry, the interim coach, and the Chicago Bulls with Ron Harper and Michael Jordan at guard, Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley, and Dennis Rodman up front. And let's check in with Craig Saban.
Well, Sunday we learned that Grant Hill is human. Frustrated over losing and the lack of a call in the game in Atlanta, he was ejected for the first time in his career, dating all the way back to junior high. He told me tonight, however, that he is not embarrassed, nor does he see a need to apologize. To which he earned added respect from teammate Rick Mahorn, one of the original bad boys, who said it's all right to be the NBA's poster child, but it means a lot more when you want to win so bad, you get kicked out if that's what it takes. Vern, Doc.
Wow. That's why Rick Mahorn did it, huh?
Yeah, that was it. And Rodman, of course, was very proud of Grant Hill. Well, we get set to go. Joey Crawford, Derek Stafford, and Tim Donaghy are the officiating crew tonight. There is Rick Mahorn back with his second tour, and of course earned his first NBA championship ring when these two teams were battling for supremacy in the East, 89-90. Michael Jordan, Joe Dumars, both in their 13th season in the NBA.
Yeah, it's funny. I think people forget that history, that Michael Jordan had to overcome obstacles before he won a championship. People think that he's just done it his whole career, especially young kids.
I remember 1990, they went to a seventh game. Won game 6 here, did Chicago in the stadium, and then lost badly up in Detroit.
That was the migraine.
That was it. Scottie Pippen with a migraine headache. Longley, first turnover of the night. Longley had 7 turnovers in a win over at Milwaukee on Sunday, his first game back after missing 13 games with a knee injury.
I'm surprised that he had the ball 7 times to have 7 turnovers.
There's the equalizer. Here's Michael Jordan. Dumars gets back. Jordan with the jumper off the mark. Into the hands of Lindsey Hunter. Detroit wants to run. Harper's back defensively, so Hunter scurries for the corner. Now Grant Hill. Hill works on Harper. Too strong with the shot. Rodman. Loose ball. Put back is no good. Rodman with his second rebound.
The one thing you saw early is Grant Hill posting up, and that's one of the big differences with Doug Collins and now Alvin Gentry. Alvin Gentry is using Grant Hill as a post-up player.
Scottie Pippen looks for Harper. Harper takes the jumper over Lindsey Hunter. First basket of the night. Joe Dumars tonight playing in his 971st game as a Piston.
And thinking about coming back more now next year than he was early in the year. I think he's going to come back.
Do you? Williams, Rodman with another rebound. Here's Michael Jordan. Knocked away from Longley. Another turnover for Chicago. Grant Hill, nice pass to Brian Williams.
That's why Grant Hill is so good. And right back at you is Chicago.
Little mistime on the alley-oop, but Jordan puts it in. It's 4-2. Grant Hill averaging 6.5 assists per game.
Yeah, but one thing that is different now, and you see Joe Dumars has brought the ball up, so has Lindsey Hunter. Alvin Gentry does not want Grant Hill dribbling the ball as much as he did before. He wants to use him in the 4th quarter more so he'll be strong.
I'll take a look at Grant Hill in the post a moment ago.
Well, he was telling me before the game, he said he is really comfortable on the post. He likes going there on that move. He looked very comfortable because he had a wide open layup that he missed, but he saw guys coming. And you look at Grant Hill's size, I think everyone looks at his quickness too much. He still has a lot of size, and he can post up players.
I love the way he described his demeanor through this troubling season. He said, "I'm now calloused." And he said there was a time during the turmoil, about the time that Doug Collins was dismissed as the head coach, that Grant Hill thought this just isn't worth it.
Yeah, I think he was struggling a little bit mentally. Now he's obviously fresh in the game.
Goaltending on Longley's shot.
You can see the Bulls early in the game. They always try to get Luke Longley involved. And I think from being injured, they want to get him involved even a little bit more. Going to him right here for the layup. Easy call for the officials.
Don Reed called for goaltending. And it's a 6-4 Chicago lead. Here's Hill. Reed sets the pick on Pippen. Now Rodman on the switch. Hill off the dribble. Kicks it outside for Lindsey Hunter for 3. Loose ball knocked out of bounds, and it will be Chicago.
Well, that's one of the things Alvin Gentry was talking about. He said Grant Hill was doing the same things that he did last year. He dribble drives, he sets other guys up. The other guys have to make the shots.
Jordan, spin move, and then the dish, and they get Longley for 2.
Yeah, that was Jordan really, and Longley just cleaned up at the end.
Longley becomes an extension of 23.
He says thank you, I'm sure.
4 assists on the last 4 Chicago baskets now, and they lead by 4. Williams. Somehow that thing went through.
Well, I was looking on Chicago's board before the game. One of their points was to not let Williams get off early in the game.
Jordan guarded by Dumars. Hill comes to help out. Harper is open for the 3. Loose ball on the floor. Rodman gets a hand in there, but Detroit gets it in the hands of Grant Hill. Back to Dumars. That's for 3. Way off the mark. And out of bounds. Chicago will throw it in.
It's so far 2 dribble drives and nothing coming out of it for Detroit.
8-6 the score with 8:04 to go in the opening quarter. Chicago with 4 assists already.
Yeah, really moving the ball. Their last game against Milwaukee, Michael Jordan had 30 points, 0 assists. You can see early on he is coming out to try to get other guys off.
In the meantime.
And himself.
Jordan for 2. It's 10-6. Dumars and Jordan doing a little bit of battle. Here's Grant Hill with a spin move. Longley too strong. Offensive board. Ryan Williams. Shot no good. Here comes Pippen. 2 on 3 as Detroit gets back. Pippen in the lane. Loses control, but then Reed can't hold on.
Yeah, very lucky to come back up with the ball there, Scottie Pippen is.
Pippen missed the last 2 games in Atlanta and in Milwaukee with tonsillitis. So Scottie Pippen back on the floor tonight. Of course, he missed the first 35 of the season following that summer surgery. Time call.
Say you could go back to a moment ago. Say you could change something. Anything. Make better choices. More informed decisions. Say you could see things in a new way. Gain a new perspective. Then you learn the only real competition is yourself. The stack changed the game.
We're turtles, friend. The Teenage Mutant Ninja variety.
When an ancient evil threatens the world, it'll take 4 modern heroes to save it. Take a cosmic cruise with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, tomorrow night at 8 on TNT.
Over half of American kids are not active on a regular basis, but there are lots of fun ways to get fit.
You can double dutch. Play with your dog. Jump higher. Make a move. Juggle, or at least try to.
The more active you are, better you'll feel. Play fit, stay fit.
Wednesday night, the NBA celebrates April Fools on TBS. The Magic plan to pull out all the tricks in a race for the playoffs. Can Antoine Walker and the Celtics have the last laugh? Celtics and Magic, Wednesday at 8 Eastern on the Superstation.
Doug Collins dismissed as head coach of the Pistons back on Monday, February the 2nd. Alvin Gentry took over, having served 2.5 years under Doug with the Pistons. It's the second time around as an interim coach for Alvin Gentry. He replaced Kevin Lockery at Miami toward the end of the 94-95 season.
Yeah, if you look at his numbers, you can obviously see that the team is scoring more points. Unfortunately, the other teams are scoring more points also. One of the things Alvin Gentry said, he said he wanted to make this team a more of an up-tempo game. He said we're not a big basketball team, so we have to run, we have to use our athleticism. That's one of the changes he's made, and the other one we talked about is posting up Grant Hill.
I think Alvin Gentry would like to start the season as a head coach.
Yeah, I think so. Twice now being named interim, he would love to start the season with these Pistons, especially with the money they have. They could have as much as, what, $12, $15 million,
$13 million under
the cap. With Grant Hill and Brian Williams on your team, that's not a bad situation.
Chicago 5 of 8 from the field. Here's Jordan. Grant Hill guards him now. On the inbounds play, Jordan kicks it out to Ron Harper. Here's inside for Scottie Pippen. Settles instead for Longley to Jordan, and here's the jumper. Michael Jordan 3 of 4 in the early going, and it's a 6-point lead.
He can get his shot off whenever he wants to because he has the quickness. He now has the jump shot, and he also has great post game.
Brian Williams 2 of 4. And the rest of the squad, nada. Here's Dumars. Still nada. Pippen, 6-point game. Ron Harper to Longley. Luke said he played a lot more than he intended or thought he would the other night. 28 minutes.
And you can see the rust.
Back. Here's Reed. Nice pass. And Lindsey Hunter gets the layup off the glass.
You can see how quickly they get down the court. You get Grant Hill. When he gets a rebound, he starts to break. When Jerry Stackhouse comes in the game, he starts to break. That's why they're running more.
6:10 to go, first quarter of play. Here's Pippen. Takes it off the dribble, little runner, and it's 14-8.
Well, the shot looked easy, but it really was not. I mean, that was a one-legged runner.
Joe Dumars now. Michael Jordan. Oh, beautiful pass inside Grant Hill to Williams, and he'll go to the free throw line. Go back and watch Grant Hill on the fast break.
I mean, when he has the ball, the entire defense watches Grant Hill. While they're doing that, everyone else is running, and Lindsey Hunter gets a wide-open layup. It's always nice when you have a great player who can handle the ball. That's why Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen are so important. And you look in L.A. with Shaq. Shaq is very good, obviously, but he can't lead the break. He can end the break, though.
Yes, emphatically.
Yes, he can.
Thunderously even. Well, Williams got every bit of the bounce out of the last free throw. This one's just a tiny bit more of an aesthetic delight. 14-10, 5:50 to go. First quarter of play. Jordan, Ron Harper.
Well, he's going to get shots tonight. You know, Alvin Gentry was talking about the heat index on Michael Jordan, and Jordan started out the game hot, so now you can see they're double teaming Michael Jordan with Ron Harper's man.
Quick drive by Grant Hill. Rodman with another rebound. That's 3. Pippen. Oh! Hello.
Again, not that easy for him. He makes it look so easy.
Scottie Pippen, who will be the most desired free agent on the market come the end of the season. Grant Hill still can't get it to fall. Rodman. Grant Hill starts out 0 for 5 tonight. It's 18-10.
And what's interesting, I think Detroit is getting every shot they want. They're just not making it.
Oh. Dumars, terrific defensive play. Now Grant Hill again. Dumars guarded by Jordan. Gets the pick from Brian Williams. And Brian Williams keeping Detroit within hailing distance.
Well, he's come to play tonight, and it always seems to work out that way when you're playing your ex-team.
Brian Williams picked up a ring as a member of the world champion Chicago Bulls last season. Well, Scottie Pippen.
I mean, this is not an easy move, and Lindsey Hunter is still looking for the ball. And then he does it on the other end also. I mean, he guards the toughest guy every night. And look at that. It moves his feet, forces Grant Hill into a tough shot. Scottie Pippen guards the point guard, 2s, 3s, and 4s. That's how good he is defensively.
In your mind, is there any chance he'll play in Chicago next year?
I think it's very small, but I think there is a chance. I think if Michael comes back, you have to sign Scottie Pippen also.
Brian Williams with the rebound on the missed shot. And a 6-point margin now.
You know, one advantage Chicago does have, they can pay him more than anyone else.
Right. It's just a matter of whether Jerry Krause and Jerry Reinsdorf opt to do that or make the offer.
Well, you can see the pick right here, and every time Grant Hill is going to attack the basket, and he does that well. That's one of the reasons he got frustrated in the Atlanta game, Vern. He said they were not calling the fouls when I was driving. No one drives to the basket more than Grant Hill in this league.
Well, coming next, potentially a terrific matchup from Key Arena. The Utah Jazz go into the Sonics. Utah has a half-game edge over Seattle in the battle for home court advantage out west.
Well, I can tell you who Chicago's cheering for.
Right?
The Sonics. You know it. Because the Sonics, they split the season series with, and the Jazz beat them 2-0. So, obviously, they want the Sonics to win.
Right. If the two teams, Utah and Chicago, should wind up with identical records, the home court advantage, should they meet in the finals, would go to Utah. The decisive factor between Seattle is winning percentage in the conference.
We don't know that yet.
We'll figure it out. I like Chicago's options.
Yeah, me too.
That man's name is Steve Kerr. He does that a lot.
It's amazing. He goes out with an injury, a shoulder injury, which should affect his shooting. And since he's come back, he's shooting the ball better.
Steve Kerr picks up Lindsey Hunter. There's knocked away by Michael Jordan. Kerr's not the fastest guy in the world. So let's give it to Pippen, who gives it back.
Yes, smart.
Look at Kerr with a huge smile on his face. Jordan started it all with a steal.
And that's what drives coaches crazy playing the Bulls. They not only beat you, but they keep a smile on their face the entire game. And if you're a coach, you don't like that.
Lindsey Hunter rejected by Michael Jordan. Here comes Scottie Pippen. Kerr with a runner a la Pippen, but his won't fall. Brian Williams. And at the other end, Williams, Jerry Stackhouse has come on, and Williams threw it away. 2:50 to go in the opening quarter. Jordan with the steal.
Yeah, he can still play defense. And Steve Kerr gets the benefit of Jordan's defense and Pippen's passing. He gets an easy layup.
8-point lead, Chicago Bulls.
Here it comes.
Relentless power, amazing agility, and a sleek, muscular shape. Introducing the Tiburon. Its name means shark.
Where do you see the red one?
Look out. It's a whole new Hyundai.
What do you get from the man who has everything?
From the director of Seven.
What is it?
It's a game.
They know who you are.
This is Cynthia calling from Sierra.
How'd you get this number?
They know where you live.
What is this?
Let's save the questions till afterwards.
And they want everything. Michael Douglas.
Who did this to me? Why?
Sean Penn.
I paid him more to make it stop.
The game.
Playing this month on Direct Ticket, only on Direct TV.
The Bulls are up 22-14, but right now without the services of Ron Harper. He went by a pick set by Don Reed, caught a knee by Reed in the lower part of his right leg, has a contusion. They have put ice on it. He has also received a massage. He says he hopes to return. Vern?
All right, Greg.
Well, right when they thought everyone was healthy, Ron Harper gets hurt.
Yeah, it's the first time this season that the top 10 players had been listed as fully healthy.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I'm trying to figure out a massage in 90 seconds. That's pretty good. Wow, I need one.
22-14, 2:40 to go in the opening quarter. Pippen and Kukoc, Rodman, and Ron Harper's back on the floor, as a matter of fact.
So he's okay.
So he not only hoped to return, he did.
Yeah, and the massage worked.
Yeah. 24-14, a 10-point margin. Detroit, ice cold, 4 of 16. Grant Hill. He will take it, won't he?
He attacks the basket. It's amazing watching him. You know, going through a college season, 30 games attacking the basket is tough. He does it 82 games.
Jerome Williams goes for the steal. Ball's on the floor, and a foul is going to be called on Grant Hill.
Every player on the Bulls team know where Grant Hill is going right here. They know he's going to drive the basket. He does not want to shoot the jumper, yet he still gets there. That tells you how good he is.
Got the basket and then picked up the foul. Final 2 minutes of the opening quarter. Kukoc, Jerome Williams guards him. Stackhouse on Ron Harper. Harper with the jumper from Rodman. In and out. Rebound Williams. 24-16, 1:42 to go. Grant Hill as Pippen goes backward.
Well, he might have got away with one on that one. I think Pippen guessed right.
Williams misfires and Kukoc clears for Chicago. Pistons back on defense. Kerr has it. Finds Pippen right side. Off the dribble. Strong move. Goes to the free throw line after the miss.
I think Scottie Pippen was anticipating contact. He did get it, but he would have made that shot if not looking for contact.
Scottie Pippen missed the first 35 games of the season. The team was 26-11 without him. Look, however, how they have improved offensively with him back.
I mean, those numbers are unbelievable. His agent right now is just laying back and laughing. He doesn't have to say anything. The numbers speak for themselves.
They've improved from 20th in the league to 5th with him in the lineup. Pippen makes the first and shoots one more.
You know, and Michael said it. He said the reason we're struggling shooting from the field is because now every time I shoot, I have to create my own shot and take it. When Scottie comes back, Scottie creates shots for me, and that gives me more energy and gives me more open shots.
Pippen with 8 points, 3 of 3 from the field. And it's back to a 10-point lead. Stackhouse. Nice play.
He's really played well since accepting his role coming off the bench. And Gentry was talking about one of the things he told him was Kevin McHale, one of the greatest players in the game, came off the bench for most of his career.
Jerry Stackhouse has it now after the miss by Kerr. Comes right side. Lindsey Hunter with Kerr guarding him. Pick and roll back to Hill. Oh, nice feed underneath to Williams, who actually gotten a little too deep and then turns around and comes back.
Yeah, he had a layup, lost the ball, and then got another layup with his own talent.
26-20. Kukoc, Pippen, Rodman, Kerr, and Ron Harper. Off the front iron. Rodman. Gosh, he does that a lot.
He does. He keeps the ball alive.
Yep.
And you know the secret is he's a quick jumper. He's not necessarily a high jumper, but he gets up and down before most people can get out once.
Rodman, of course, started his career in Detroit and picked up a couple of rings with the bad boys. Pippen on the pick set by Rodman. And we have reached, that's a shot clock violation.
It expired.
Well, this is not the end of the quarter. We had a travel. Or is it?
Oh, it's going to be interesting because what they're going to say is Scottie Pippen's shot hit the rim. Detroit heard the shot clock go off, and the guy who got the rebound, I think it was Williams, just started traveling with the basketball because he thought it was a dead ball. I think the officials are going to call traveling.
Brian Williams.
He's talking, but no one's listening right now.
They put 2.3 seconds back on the clock.
But get a look here. He drives to the basket, and Scottie Pippen does, and you can see it. I don't think it hit anything, Vern.
No.
And watch the travel because he heard the shot clock, so Williams just starts walking with the basketball.
It was Jerome Williams and not Brian Williams who was guilty of the travel.
I think that's a wrong call, though, Vern, because it didn't hit the rim. And so it should have been a shot clock violation.
That's what Alvin Gentry is arguing right now. So 2 seconds left in the quarter. Alley-oop. And we've reached the end of one. Chicago jumps out to a 6-point lead at the end of the first quarter of play. Back in a moment.
Amazingly popular.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Amazingly successful.
You fellas been sucking back on Grandpa's old cough medicine?
Amazingly stupid.
What are my chances?
Not good.
You mean like 1 out of 100?
More like 1 out of a million.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah! The biggest dumb movie of the decade. Stupefy with Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels in Dumb and Dumber. Sunday at 8. The new classics are on TNT.
Frank, I'm thinking about moving to another swamp.
Oh, really?
I'm just not comfortable living in a swamp where assassination attempts are taking place. Every loon with a vendetta, every snake with a sinus headache frightens me.
Yeah, snap out of it, Louie. Everybody knows it was you.
Oh, Frank, I had no motive. I love Budweiser, and I love the frogs.
Oh, yeah, you're good buddies. I forgot.
Excuse me, if you would remember last summer, I invited them to that barbecue.
Yeah, well, Louie, you wanted to cook them at that barbecue.
But at least I invited them.
Oh.
You wouldn't have invited them at all.
And now for our finest. What would you do with $100 grand?
I would buy everyone a puppy so they could feel the love that I feel right now.
I would sprinkle flower seeds all over the world.
And what would you do with $100 grand?
I'd eat it.
100 grand. Rich, chewy caramel, creamy milk chocolate, and crispy little crunchies.
And then when I was finished, I'd try to recycle the wrapper.
100 grand from Nestle. Now that's rich.
Golf's not hard with Tiger Woods and the Air Zoom TW.
Today's topic, tee height. I like to tee up my ball just above the club head. Experiment, and you'll find a tee height that's right for you.
Welcome back to the city of Chicago. A beautiful weekend. It began drizzling and raining pretty heavily today, but the temperature is still quite warm. And so on a muggy spring evening, we get set for the second quarter. The Detroit Pistons, you like challenges. Look what they have left.
Man, Vern, I tell you, if they can go 8-2 with this, they should get a bye in the first round. I mean, look at this. I see Boston as a win, and I see Milwaukee as a win. And after that, all bets are off. I don't know where they're going to get a win from. They have a tough schedule. It's going to be really tough for them to go 8-2.
Among the teams they face with that record who have winning records, their record this season, I'm confusing myself, 9-16.
Wow. That's not good.
Want to repeat what I just said?
Yes. I'll try.
I wish you would. Brian Williams gets a rest. We'll set the lineups for you. Grant Hill, Lindsey Hunter, Jerome Williams, Stackhouse, and Rick Mahorn is on the floor. And Grant Hill gets the basket.
Grant Hill is the cause of so many players getting yelled at by their coach, probably more than any other guy, because, again, they're saying before the game, hey, guys, Grant Hill are going to drive. You cannot let him drive. But he does anyway, and I'm sure the players are thinking if it's that easy, he wouldn't be that good. You know, if it's that easy to stop him from driving. He does it every time.
And he's cut the margin after the three-point play, 2-3. 9 points for Grant Hill, who missed his first 5 shots from the field. Here's Kerr. Off the mark, Jerome Williams has the rebound. And Grant Hill brings it across. Kukoc picks him up defensively. Kerr on Hunter. There's the dish to Rick Mahorn, who wasn't ready for it. Back to Stackhouse. Good cut. But then the defender, Wennington, was there. Now here's Kukoc. Jordan back on the floor with Kerr, Rodman, and Bill Wennington. Five on the shot clock. Kukoc for 3.
I don't know what happened there, but there was no one close to Tony Kukoc on that shot. He's been playing terrific also.
Kukoc and Rodman actually started while Longley was on the injured list. Here's Grant Hill, too strong. Rodman with another rebound. That's 7 already for Rodman. Kukoc pulls up and launches. Kerr puts it in the hands of Wennington. Now Kukoc. Wennington with a spot-up jumper. Misfire. Here comes Grant Hill. 3-on-3, right side Stackhouse. Got the roll.
You can see it again. When Grant Hill gets the rebound and Stackhouse is running, that's pretty good.
Oh my gosh. Did you see the look on Mahorn's face?
He knew he was in trouble.
He realized he was one-on-one with Jordan on the quick inbounds pass.
You know, he was thinking, what am I going to do here? You knew the end part would be a foul. That was the only guaranteed part in that play. I mean, look at this.
Oh, that was really funny.
Wow. And usually you would say that Jordan faked him out, but he really didn't. Mahorn is too slow to move, so he didn't fake him that much. He just went around him. Oh, my.
Oh, that was great.
And you know, Mahorn is thinking, 10 years ago, I would have really laid him out.
Oh, boy. Rick Mahorn. If you couldn't hear it, you know I didn't foul him.
What you didn't hear the end. He said follow as hard as he wanted to.
Oh, goodness. 31-25.
He's one of the good guys in this league. Though he plays physical, he really is.
And many people think he's going to be a coach in this league someday.
He wants to be.
And he'll love the fact that we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Here's Jordan. Stackhouse has it, and Kerr picked up by Joe Dumars. Wennington sets the pick. Scott Burrell, who has played really well the last week or so. That one's off the mark.
He said he's finally figuring out where he can score in the triangle.
Burrell gets the rebound off the Dumars miss. And then you were saying if you find out where you must score, then you better score.
Yeah, because when you take that shot, it better go in or you're coming out.
Kukoc. Up and under from Malik Sealy at the shot clock, and the violation is there. So a turnover. Detroit with a 2-rebound edge in the early going.
But that's a big edge really against Chicago, because Chicago dominates teams on the boards, especially on the offensive side of the rebound.
Stackhouse. Malik Sealy. Kukoc, good timing with the block. Under 9 to go in the first half of play. And Stackhouse guards Jordan, goes baseline, and
hey, come on, you gotta look at the push.
Foul is called. Oh, no, Jordan was ruled out of bounds.
Yeah, he was complaining about the push. You knew when he saw Stackhouse was guarding him that he was going to go after him.
31-25, 8:40 to go. First of 2 tonight. Utah-Seattle coming up after this game. Jerome Williams fights for position in the lane. Misses the shot, and Kerr has the rebound.
What help by Chicago defensively. 4 guys helped on that one dribble drive.
Kukoc gives it back to Jordan. And Jerome Williams, after the miss, gives it to Joe Dumars, who pulls up for the jumper, gets it. That's inside the line. That counts for 2.
Yeah, but Detroit is staying close. I think they took him a big blow from Chicago, and they're still close. This is a 4-point game. Detroit has to be happy.
Michael Jordan. Williams comes with help. Gets back on Kukoc. Jordan goes baseline again.
Chicago ball.
Oh, it's a baseline defense here.
I mean, take a look here. Right now, I tell you what, Stackhouse is doing a really nice job on Michael Jordan, and he's being really physical with him.
Kerr way outside, way inside.
And Joe Dumars could have gotten there, but he didn't think that Kerr would take that shot from that deep.
34-27. It's up to a 7-point margin. Steve Kerr with that shoulder injury. And he had an earlier injury before the turn of the calendar, and he's missed a total of 32 games this year. There's Stackhouse. And Jerome Williams misses. Scott Burrell with a rebound for Chicago. Now Kukoc. Left side to Wennington. Steve Kerr again. Pump fake. Back to Kukoc. Brian Williams with a nice block on Burrell's shot.
I don't know if it was Williams or the rim. I think the rim blocked that shot, actually. He was pretty close. Williams will take the credit, though.
And another turnover. This time
we'll get a look here. What do you think?
I'm going to give Williams the credit.
Okay.
You're going for the rim, aren't you?
For the rim.
Time called.
The day Lincoln was shot, Sunday, April 12th on TNT.
The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you. My love.
We're down to 6 seconds. 5. The crowd is on its feet. Time for one more shot.
Take your best shot with NBA League Pass as the race for the playoffs goes down to the wire. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get even more NBA action. You'll get the end of this season plus all of next year for the special price of just $159. Call now for a double dose of buzzer-beating, tray-tossing, in-your-face excitement. See up to 40 NBA games every week, all the way through the 1998-99 season. Get more for your money with this NBA League Pass special offer. Just $159 or 4 interest-free payments of $39.75. Order right now and get a free subscription to On, the official magazine of DirecTV Sports. Get more games, more magic, more memories. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get this NBA League Pass special offer on DirecTV Sports.
Here's the chase for the NBA's home court advantage in the playoffs. Chicago currently with the best record in the league, but they are being chased by both Utah and Seattle. And bonus for you tonight, doubleheader on TNT. And the second game, the Utah Jazz go into Seattle to take on the Sonics. A couple of decent guards named Stockton and Gary Payton. Utah and Seattle, followed by Inside the NBA. That's next.
That's going to be a great game. I mean, both teams are playing so well. It's funny, no one's talking about Seattle anymore.
His family, the young man on the left and his 2 sons, they're 2 years old and 5 years old. They came all the way from Osaka, Japan to see Dennis Rodman tonight.
You tell me that Dennis Rodman doesn't have star power? Wow.
While we were in Japan for the Olympic coverage, Doc, there's a restaurant. I hesitate to use the word bar because I don't know that I would ever recognize one. Inside the line for Burrell, there is a restaurant in Nagano that serves adult beverages and the NBA every Tuesday night. Wow. And Wednesday night and Friday night.
So they are big.
Yes. 36-27, 6:25 to go before halftime. Grant Hill, having rested his back on the floor. Little too strong with the shot after he makes the spin move baseline.
That's about the 3rd time. Grant Hill is getting to the basket. He's just not making the shots.
Kukoc for the jumper is.
The Bulls are.
Yeah. Largest lead now. They've gone into an 11-point cushion. 6 minutes to go in the first half of play. Sealy, Stackhouse off the mark. Rebound, Pippen. Pippen, Luke Longley is back on the floor with Kukoc and Jordan and Burrell. Longley wasn't quite ready for that pass.
No, he was not. The sad thing, he was open.
And Grant Hill misses another from close range, but he will go to the free throw line. A little frustrated.
Yeah, because he's getting to the bucket. And that's what he was mad at in Atlanta, that he couldn't get there because they were fouling him. Tonight he's getting there. He's just not making the shots.
Heralded, of course, in his rookie season as the next bearer of the torch after Jordan. And now, because of the losing record, you just don't hear that much conversation about
no,
Grant Hill.
He's a forgotten child now, you know, and I still think if there is such thing as the torch, I've never actually seen the torch, have you?
No, I haven't. No.
But if there is one, I think Grant Hill still would be a good choice, because I think the Pistons in the next couple of years will be a very good basketball team again.
Well, Alvin Gentry was saying today he thinks Michael Jordan is the best athlete of any team sport ever. And there will not be someone coming along as the next Michael Jordan, but Grant Hill is the best. Grant Hill is going to be a pretty good player.
Yeah, he said Grant Hill just wants to be the best that Grant Hill can be. And Michael Jordan is being the best Michael Jordan right now.
Now, this guy's 35 years old.
My.
And he's averaging 28.3 points per game. He is 35 years old.
And I think he's jumping better this year than he did last year. I also think he's more driven. He really wants to win this title this year.
For a multiplicity of reasons, yes. Don't you think?
Oh, definitely.
Many of them having to do with the Chicago organization.
With management, with people saying he's too old. Right now, Brian Williams is not thinking Michael Jordan is too old.
40-29. Jordan gets a pick from Longley. Williams on the switch, leaving Longley open, and got back too late.
Little things. Michael Jordan right there noticed the double team. He kept his dribble alive, took the double team with him all the way past the three-point line, and gives Longley a wide open shot.
Burrell goes for the steal. Dumars has it back. Williams tries to sneak one inside, and Burrell got a hand in the passing. There he is. Here's Burrell.
Boy, I tell you what, Scottie Pippen just laid a pick on Brian Williams at the end of that play. That was terrific.
A 13-2 Chicago run. And they've jumped out to a 15-point lead, and the lead at 15 with just under 4 minutes to go in the first half.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing? Okay, our book club is in session. First up, Max's dad wants to join our club. Hello.
Let's give him the test.
Name Max's favorite book. Billy and the Robot. What's the robot super word? Bazamo.
He's good.
Last question. Reading is fundamental. All in favor? Aye. All right, congratulations. Thank you.
You know, one way underage drinkers can get beer is if someone who's over 21 buys it for them. If you have friends who are underage and they ask you to buy them a beer, do us all a favor and don't.
21 means 21.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Original Coors, pure and simple, the last real beer. By Ford, makers of vehicles that are built to last. And by 100 Grand from Nestle. Now that's rich.
Coming up Thursday night at 8 o'clock on TNT, William Holden and Carol O'Connor star in The Devil's Brigade. That's Thursday night at 8. Then on Sunday night, catch Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber. All the best movies are on TNT.
Vern, I want you to take a look here. Here's the pick and roll. Watch how far Michael Jordan dribbles the basketball right here to take the double team with him. Detroit decides the double team. Now look right here. Look at the distance that he creates just by keeping his dribble alive. Luke Longley gets a wide open shot. Brian Williams tries to come back, just not enough time. And the key to that play was Michael Jordan keeping his dribble alive.
13-2 run in the last 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And the lead at 15. It's Dumars, Stackhouse, Grant Hill, Brian Williams, and Lindsey Hunter.
Well, one of the keys to this game in the Chicago locker room was getting off to a fast start. I think they've accomplished that goal.
Dumars for three. They desperately need it. They don't get it. Battle for the rebound. Grant Hill has it. He's been cold. He's 2 for 10. Dumars again off the mark. So Hill and Dumars having problems offensively tonight.
Yeah, Hill obviously, but Hill still is getting other guys involved. Now, when Hill struggles offensively scoring and he gets other guys involved and they are not scoring, then Detroit's in trouble.
Here's Longley. Burrell, and gets it away from Grant Hill, who thought he had the steal.
I think Scottie Burrell is starting to become the Scottie Burrell of 2 years ago. And if that is true, the Bulls are absolutely a better team this year than they were last year.
Here's Lindsey Hunter with Steve Kerr, as a matter of fact. Here's a steal from Longley. He finds Burrell. Burrell, Pippen is open. Spots up right side. Steve Kerr was saying in a local television interview last night, he thought they were better than last year. Here's Rodman, offensive foul or a loose ball foul. Rodman with the push on.
Well, I think they're healthy. Last year, if you remember, the Bulls, Scottie Pippen was playing at about 70%. Dennis Rodman was playing at 60% physically and about 20% mentally. And Tony Kukoc was injured also. So now all those guys are healthy. You bring in Scott Burrell, who's helping the basketball team. Ron Harper is healthier this year also. I think if you look at that, they are a better basketball team. And I think they have more reasons to win this year.
Here's Stackhouse. Nice drive. Wow.
Stackhouse is looking good himself.
Stackhouse and Eric Montross coming over in a trade from Philadelphia that sent Theo Ratliff and Aaron McKee, and then there was a switch of draft picks as well. Here's Pippen. As Lindsey Hunter got in there to help with the steal. Alley-oop. Stackhouse. Oh, he did a nice job adjusting in the air.
Yeah, because the pass was not a good pass. But because Stackhouse is so athletic, he can still get to the basketball. This is an important run for Detroit. If they can just cut into this lead a little bit going into halftime, they'll have some kind of confidence coming out in the second half.
Scottie Pippen.
Detroit, the personal foul, Lindsey Hunter is first.
But just watch Stackhouse run. That's what he does so well. You can see him pointing up. He knows where he wants the ball. Lindsey Hunter does not get it there, but he can still make the shot.
Lindsey Hunter with the foul, and that sends Scottie Pippen to the line now.
You know, we talk about Jerry Stackhouse, and he has really played some good basketball in the last 2 of the 3 weeks. Detroit has a tough decision to make. Do they sign him? Do they renounce him? Or will he just leave on his own?
Any information?
I think he's going to leave.
Do you?
I do. I think for several reasons. I don't think, though he's accepted the role, I don't think he really likes coming off the bench.
There's the Chicago trap. Here's Lindsey Hunter at the other end. Brian Williams with the adjustment in the basket. And the lead is 13 with 1:39 to go before the halftime break. Now Jordan, Pippen, Kukoc, Rodman, and Scott Burrell on the floor now for the Bulls.
A lot of scoring on the floor right now.
Stackhouse with a steal. And a chance for Grant Hill. Off the glass. And the lead is 11, 48-37.
Important run for Detroit. Gives them a little confidence now. He is the run stopper.
That doesn't help much.
Wow.
Run stopper. Think he still thinks about baseball much?
A little bit. I go into the locker room before the game, and I talked to Michael, and I saw him watching TV. I thought he was watching film. He was watching a baseball game.
Dreaming of what might have been on opening day. Here's Stackhouse. 2 more for... Well, he came back from baseball in March of '95. And here at United, so you know what their record is since he came back. 118-8. That's the record at home since Jordan unretired.
93%?
Yeah, 93.7 if you get the calculator out. Wow. 32-3 this year. Coming up on the Nike halftime report, Kenny Smith will join Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios. Speaking of Tar Heels.
Yes.
They'll have all the scores and highlights, including a 12-game night in the NBA. And I don't mean to imply that Ernie Johnson was a Tar Heel.
No, Ernie Johnson would take the credit of being a Tar Heel, but no, he was not.
Pippen at the line. Steve Kerr back. Jordan will rest for the remainder of the half.
You know, the best story I've heard about Michael Jordan about winning at home, Will Perdue told me after a game they lost at home, he looked at the guards on his team and said, "I'm punishing you tomorrow in practice for losing this game tonight." How about that? That'll make you play hard at home.
Well, as a part of our halftime, we'll have some information from Craig Sager on the future direction of the Bulls and their stars. 53-39 here. Detroit. Ryan Williams gets 2 off the glass.
He's had a big first half.
Yes.
Exactly what the Bulls didn't want.
14 points on 6 of 9 from the field.
You know, if Detroit made those open shots that they had a host of open shots earlier in the game, this game would be a lot closer.
Rodman with a pretty decent pick on Stackhouse. And he finds Burrell in the corner.
Oh, my.
It began, he almost leveled Stackhouse, then flipped it behind his back casually for the 3. And at the buzzer, Lindsey Hunter's shot goes awry. Scottie Pippen, a 15-point first half, 4 of 7 from the field. Perfect at the free throw line. The halftime break, the Bulls lead by 15.
Go to the net, NBA.com.
So you know it's there.
It's there. 100 grand.
What's the split?
There's no split. 100 grand, 100 grand, 100 grand.
I can't go in there. They know me.
Let's get Sal.
Sal? Sal, that's beautiful.
100 grand. Rich, chewy caramel, creamy milk chocolate, and crispy little crunchies.
Here, Grandpa.
Nice work, Sally. Keep one for yourself, kid.
100 grand from Nestle. Now that's rich.
Out here, we negotiate on the court. Somebody coming off the bench to give you a rest? Because I'm busting you down.
Come on, put him up. Give it up. Put that hands up off me. Foul me, man. Foul me.
What foul? Show me the blood.
The very thought of you, and I forget to do the little ordinary things that everyone ought to do. It's just the thought of you, the very thought of you, my love.
To the surprise of no one, Chicago 56-41 over Detroit after 24 minutes. Later on, game 2 of our doubleheader, showdown in the Western Conference in Seattle, home of the Space Needle. Jazz and the Sonics, Utah up by a game on the lost side. We welcome you to the Nike Halftime Report. I'm Ernie Johnson, University of Georgia, class of 78, joined tonight by Kenny Smith, University of North Carolina, class of 87, and a 10-year NBA vet with a couple of championship rings to show for it. He's with us all night long and all week on TNT and TBS, and you're going to be mighty sick of us by the end of the week. 12 games on the schedule tonight, and a bunch of them carry postseason weight. For example, the race for the number 4 spot in the East and home court in the first round. Charlotte has it right now by 2 on the loss side over the Hawks with 2 head-to-head meetings left. These would-be first-round opponents both playing tonight. Hornets at the Hive, taking on the Philadelphia 76ers, and Glenn Rice, somebody left him open, and he knocked down the three-pointer. Rice had 18 in the first half. Matt Geiger on the receiving end of the alley-oop. They're up 20 early in the half. You want to see a great crossover?
Oh, see ya.
Ghost. Allen Iverson right past Mad Max. But still, the Sixers were down 54-49 at the break, but they're hanging in there at the Hive. It's only a 3-point game. Rice and Iverson each with 20. The Hornets on top of the Sixers, 68-65. Now Atlanta trying to chase down Charlotte for home court in the first round. And they're in New Jersey. Yeah, and there's Jason Williams. He wants to be back for the playoffs if Jersey gets there. Keith Van Horn had 19 points in the first quarter. Look at this move, and a little hesitation and up and over Mount Mutombo. Brian Evans doing some damage from way out. Hit 4 3-pointers in the second quarter, 4 out of 4. And the New Jersey Nets had a 10-point lead at the break. Atlanta has closed the gap. It's a 4-point game, 62-58. New Jersey with the advantage at home over the Hawks, who are playing without Steve Smith and without Christian Laettner tonight. Also, Orlando and Cleveland. Orlando is on the bubble right now as the number 8 team. And they trail the Cleveland Cavaliers, who've been playing well lately. They've won 3 straight and 7 of their last 8. It's a 10-point game, 55-45. Kenny, let's talk about this 4-5 thing and how important home court is, or maybe not be, in that situation. What do you say?
To me, being 4 or 5 is no difference. I think most of the time the 4 team or the 5 team, they're not really playing that well at home, and they're not great teams at home. They're good teams, but not great teams. You can see out of the last couple of years, only last year was the first time that the 4 team actually did win.
There was a long streak in both the East and the West where number 5 just went ahead and beat number 4. But is there some advantage, though? I mean, if you're Charlotte, don't you want to have a game 5 at the Hive?
Well, what happens is game 1, if you lose that first game, it puts so much pressure on you. You say, I have to win game 2 and then go up there and win one of those games. So it puts so much pressure on a team that's really at the 4 and the 5 spot. They're not really a great basketball team yet.
It comes to mind the phrase they say, anything can happen in a short series at best of 5 first rounder. When the Nike halftime report continues, we're going to set our sights on the Western contenders. The Lakers starting a 4-game trip tonight, trying to get Toronto's rapt attention. That's the goal of Kobe and the guys. And just like the East, the race for number 4 continues in the West. The Spurs in New York trying to hold off the Suns for home court. But does it really matter 4 or 5? We'll be back.
Golf's not hard with Tiger Woods and the Air Zoom TW.
A common problem in golf is the slice. One solution is to play with a gallery. Having women and children to my left and right is a handy reminder that I need to keep my club face square. Now let's see how this tip works for Jill, a 27 handicapper from Logansport. Go get him, Jill. Jill overcompensated for his slice and hooked it. Something we'll be sure to work on next time.
Now. Can you come home? I'm in the middle of nowhere.
It took weeks for news to reach its destination. Today, neither time nor distance can keep us from sharing our lives.
Breathe, honey. Hey, you get another contraction? The music is counting. 5, 6, 7.
Philips introduces Isis, the cellular phone that can let you talk up to 6 long hours.
I love you, honey. Honey?
Isis from Philips.
There's always pressure to perform in front of a Polaroid camera.
Do something funny.
But what really works?
I like to go with the thumbs up. Doesn't come real naturally, so I like to practice it before going to parties.
I believe in the wacky face. I have a palette. I create art.
There's variations you can play with. I'll do the double.
I think the right prop is critical. Most people eat with a spoon. What's that? That's not comedy.
The sexy thumbs up.
People might not see the wacky face coming, but when it's there, boy, are they glad.
Hey. Matt, got your email. Vancouver? Genius. Passed it on to Epps. He's running it through the Northwest.
Hey, Matt. Ideas a hit in the Northwest. I've got purchasing checking suppliers.
You want it up top. Client briefing. Your Vancouver idea.
Want to take your business to the next level?
Well, 10 of Chicago's 56 coming from his earnest. They're up by 15. Meantime, Jerry Sloan and the Utah Jazz arriving at Key Arena for that showdown with the Sonics. Game 2 of our TNT doubleheader later on tonight. It's not quite a two-team race at the top of the Western Conference. The Lakers can still be a factor, though the numbers aren't exactly in their favor as they head down the stretch. LA's 2 behind Seattle, and the Sonics have the tiebreaker. The Lakers also placed 7 of their last 11 on the road, starting a 4-game trip tonight at Sky Dome in Toronto. Lakers pumped up, or something like that. Meantime, Rick Fox from Eddie Jones, and Fox had 14 points in the first quarter at 18.5. Kobe off the glass, but he heads to the locker room in the third quarter in some kind of pain. There's been no report. And now they're saying a jammed pelvis joint, which sounds painful enough to me. 104-95. The Lakers with the lead over the Raptors, a shade over 3 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Now the race for 4-5 in the West, and we're still going to talk about this despite the fact that it may not make any difference, Kenny. Phoenix is 2 back on the loss side behind San Antonio. Phoenix does have the tiebreaker, 3-1 over the Spurs, and both teams playing tonight. San Antonio continuing its trip at the Garden in New York. Vinny Del Negro's got Tim Duncan, who spins away from Charles Oakley. 17-8 San Antonio, 11.5 for TD. And David Robinson had 13.5 offensive board. Just a little flip. 37-28 San Antonio at that point. They were up 57-39 at the break. And wow, 63-49 San Antonio with the lead midway through the third period at the Garden in New York. Meantime, Phoenix trying to keep pace with San Antonio, but not yet. They've played one at Compaq Center, and the Rockets have a 24-19 lead over Phoenix. San Antonio could be number 4. Phoenix could be number 5, despite the fact it may not make any difference. Why is Phoenix able to handle these guys 3 out of 4?
Well, the biggest thing that Phoenix is able to do that no other team is have the versatility in their big men. You look at Cliff Robertson, you look at McDyess, they can play outside, they play inside, they're athletic, they run the floor. So when you play against San Antonio and Duncan and David Robertson and Will Perdue, they have that agility, but not against these guys because they can play them out on the perimeter.
So, again, a 4-5 thing right there may not matter if it's all matchups when you get in that first round.
Straight matchups.
All right, when we come back, we're going to let you know what's up with the Heat and with the Pacers. The Nike Halftime Report rolling on in just a moment. Thanks for watching tonight, folks. Doubleheader night.
A lot of times when something goes wrong with your car, you know it right away. But some parts, like shock absorbers, tend to wear out gradually over time. So gradually that many drivers fail to realize just how worn their shocks have become. So rather than wait till it's painfully obvious that you need new shocks, stop by your nearest AutoZone. Right now, when you buy 3 Gabriel Gas Rider shocks or struts, you get the 4th one free, only at AutoZone.
Out of the blue, Upjohn invites me to help him test the new Rogaine. Okay. I hated this spot. I said yes. This new Rogaine Extra Strength for Men is more concentrated. It gets more to the root to grow more hair. 2 months in, it's working. My wife's saying something's happening, but maybe I'm just lucky. What about the other guys? Listen to this. 45% more hair than with original Rogaine. 45% more hair with the new Rogaine. It's the, ultimate spot remover.
New file, begin dictation.
Who are you talking to?
My computer.
I do that too sometimes.
No, you don't understand. I got this new software. I talk, it types.
You talk, it types?
I talk, it types.
It's typing.
Because I'm talking.
What does it type?
Whatever I say.
So let me try.
No.
Why?
Because it's mine. Get your own.
Now when I talk, it types.
Singing a song side by side.
Want lobster? How about shrimp? Have both for only $11.99. Right now at Red Lobster, shrimp and lobster are together, side by side, for one very enticing price. So grab some food before this offer ends and enjoy. 'Cause life on land is dry.
Side by side.
On this doubleheader Tuesday night, don't turn in until you've watched Inside the NBA after the Jazz and Sonics. All the highlights and Kenny's insights on Inside after our doubleheader. Contact Sport, Kenny.
That's a doubleheader right there.
Oh, you've got that right. Andrew DeClerc and Alonzo Mourning. Score one for the kid. I'm sure that's not a jammed pelvis. That's more like an injury to the head. He had a gash on the side of his head and went off the court. DeClercq and Mourning banging heads in Miami, knocking the bark off Boston tonight. 85-54. Vashawn Leonard has 26. Miami trying to continue its dominance over Boston and also maintain their edge over Indiana. The Pacers scored that 55 points, the record low since the shot clock the other day against San Antonio. Reggie Miller came back tonight, and he had 19 points. They won 128-106. They passed the 55-point mark with 3 minutes and 25 seconds to go in the second quarter tonight, so things are different. Rick Smits, by the way, did not play once again. Later tonight, Milwaukee and Golden State. They'll be turning in for that one. Dallas and Vancouver, same story, and Utah and Seattle. Great game, and you'll see it here on TNT later tonight after the Chicago Bulls and the Detroit Pistons, who are through 24 minutes. Chicago's on top 56-41. Michael's got 10. There you see Key Arena waiting for the Jazz and the Sonics in Game 2 of our doubleheader later tonight.
In the Northwest, it rains 200 days a year. In the Sun Belt, the sun never stops. In the Heartland, weather is extreme. Your home has its own climate, and now it has its own paint. New Dutch Boy Climate Guard. 5 different exterior paints formulated to withstand the specific weather conditions in the 5 different regions of the country, guaranteed for 20 years. So wherever your home is, give it the special protection it needs. Give it the lasting look of new Dutch Boy Climate Guard paints.
Night, boss. See you tomorrow.
Introducing Kiwi car carrying products. Washes and waxes with Rust Guard. Protectants with Endust for that one-of-a-kind Kiwi shine. Kiwi car carrying products from the most trusted name in protection and shine.
Schick Tracer FX is the only razor that flexes to cover every sensitive curve. A design so smart, you can feel it. Schick, the feel of smart design.
Ready to take a trip? Just grab your remote and hop on board the Entertainment Express, heading your way next month on DirecTV. First stop, Anthony Hopkins and Alec Baldwin.
Come on, get me!
Take you to the edge. When the commander-in-chief is kidnapped,
Where's my family?
it's time for this soldier to step into battle.
Get off my plane!
Harrison Ford, Air Force One. Demi Moore wages a one-woman war against the system.
Treat me the same, no better, no worse.
Cut her loose!
G.I. Jane. Keanu Reeves, a hot young lawyer.
What are you?
Al Pacino is all fired up as his boss.
It's my time now.
The Devil's Advocate. When Alicia Silverstone tries to kidnap herself,
You would not believe what a girl's got to do just to get a little attention.
she comes up with a little excess baggage. Hungry for laughs? Try Nickelodeon's Keenan and Kells.
This is what I call fast food!
Good Burger. Catch the non-stop Entertainment Express next month on DirecTV.
This program is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the expressed written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Welcome back to United Center, Madison Street, a couple of miles west of downtown Chicago, and the Bulls cruising right now, leading 56-41 as we get set for the start of the third quarter. And of course, Chicago in quest of another NBA championship this season. Vern Lundquist along with Doc Rivers and Craig Sager. And there's almost an obsession with talking, Doc, about what's going to happen to the Chicago franchise at the end of this year. Phil Jackson, it is said, is in his final season as coach. Will he not come back? Scottie Pippen. What's your thought about what's going on here?
Well, what I don't understand is the urgency. I mean, why are we pushing Chicago out? Why are we pushing Michael Jordan out? I don't understand that. And if the Bulls and Jerry Krause or whoever think that it's going to be easy to just rebuild a championship, I think they're wrong. I think the perception around this league is loyalty. You did not show Scottie Pippen loyalty. You're not showing Michael Jordan, the greatest player in sports history, loyalty. Then why am I going to come? Who wants to fill those shoes? I think what they're going to find out is how important the name on the back is instead of the name on the front.
I know Craig Sager, who's spent a lot of time talking about just this topic today, has some thoughts.
Well, Vern, the Bulls assistant coaches told me today that Phil Jackson would return next year under the right circumstances. We have also learned that the Bulls have 9 free agents, and financially they could pay Michael Jordan $30 million next year. They could pay Scottie Pippen another $20 million and still have money for Dennis Rodman and the rest of the free agents. By the way, discussions were held today with Rodman's agent, Dwight Manley. He was assured that they do want Rodman back next year. Now, Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner, said nothing is etched in stone. I spent about an hour talking with Jerry Krause, Vice President of Basketball Operations. He said everything is open for next year. He could bring everybody back. I asked Michael Jordan what he thought would happen. He said it is his mission to win it this year and have everybody back next year, including the coaching staff. I said, that means you want to play next year, status quo. He said, that's my mission. Vern, Doc.
All right, Craig. Doc, what do you think of the odds of that happening?
I think they're good. I think Jerry Krause helped build this team. Obviously, he's not a dumb man. He sees what's out there on the court. If Michael Jordan wants to come back, Michael Jordan will come back, and I think Michael Jordan will come back as a Bull.
Michael Jordan on the floor now as we start the second half, and a quick foul called on Michael Jordan, his first. Well, Grant Hill struggling from the line. Williams and Stackhouse are combined 11 of 16, but the rest of the team at 20%. Now Jerry Stackhouse opens on the floor.
Well, he earned that because he played so well in the first half. Hey, you look at it, you know Chicago defensively, to me, probably the best defensive team in the basketball right now. Everyone talks about their offense. But Detroit in the first half had open shots. Grant Hill missed at least 4 layups that he should make. Joe Dumars and Lindsey Hunter had wide open threes, 2 each, and they didn't make theirs. So if they can make half of those open shots, this could be a closer game.
Pippen guarded by Stackhouse. Dumars picks up Jordan. There's a steal from Jerry Stackhouse.
Oh, wow.
And Michael Jordan comes back and can't quite control it. It goes out of bounds.
Now, that's a 35-year-old man running down a young kid from behind. I mean, Stackhouse thinks he's in the clear.
Right.
No, you're not. That was also a 35-year-old man who couldn't bend down to get the basketball thrown out of bounds.
Another missed layup for Grant Hill.
He's getting there, and every single one of them have been long.
3 for 12 from the field for Grant Hill tonight.
It's almost like he's looking for help coming from somewhere else, and he's really not getting it. He could make those shots.
Grant Hill with a steal on the attempted skip pass. And this time Pippen is back, but elects not to take a hard shot at Hill, and Hill with the layup.
And I think in most cases Grant Hill passes that ball. He's a little frustrated. He wants to get it going, and he thought that was the best way to do it. It's not a bad play by Grant Hill.
Hill defends Rodman. Here's Longley guarded by Brian Williams. Back to Jordan. Now Hill out on Jordan. Two on the shot clock. Shot clock violation against the Bulls.
This is the best defense I've ever seen Jerry Stackhouse play. You know, coming out from Philadelphia, he was not known as a defensive stopper, though with his athletic ability, Larry Brown thought he should be. Alvin Gentry right now has him playing defense.
Gentry said they had a long chat about his role with this Detroit team.
Yeah, and he told him about Kevin McHale, but he also said, Vern, I'm going to give him starters minutes. You might not start, but you'll get starters minutes. I've always thought, who cares if you don't start the game, as long as you finish the game.
Brian Williams gets the basket, and Phil Jackson calls a 20-second timeout.
Well, Detroit has come out. I think they've played with more emotion. I think, though, Chicago at the end of the half made the big three to stretch the lead. I think that run they made right before the half showed them that they could get back in this game.
Oh, a real battle for the 8th and final spot in the East for the playoffs. Out West, the 8 teams are set.
They were set on the first day of the season. I mean, was there any doubt that these 8 teams were going to be in the playoffs? I didn't have any.
You didn't like Denver's chances?
No, not at all.
Oh, ye
wow.
Little faith. Utah and Seattle playing later tonight, the final regular season game between those two. Here's the way it would shape up if the playoffs started today. Utah and Houston, San Antonio, Phoenix, Lakers, Portland.
That's pretty good. Utah and Houston playing in the first round. I think San Antonio and Phoenix would be a great matchup. And I think the Lakers and Portland would be a great matchup. Some people believe Portland could win that series.
Are you among them?
No, I'm not.
I just sit here and ask you leading questions. That's all. I've got the easy job. 9:50 at the other end. Stackhouse misses this one.
Well, right now, Stackhouse is the fastest man on the court. He's just flying down the basketball court, and he's doing it every single time. He looks a lot like Grant Hill.
Jerry Stackhouse under Gentry. 14 minutes off the bench. Point production down to 11. Off the bench, that is.
But look at the field goal percentage.
Yeah.
61% is pretty good.
Yes.
That'll get him a starting job.
That is a quick start off the bench. 2 free throws now, and it's a single-digit lead. 56-47. Here's Pippen. And another turnover. Stackhouse. He's got Hunter to the left side. Oh, what a play.
He didn't have to do all that.
I wondered about that.
All he had to do was lay that in, but he was anticipating Scottie Pippen jumping. He wasn't trying to be a showboat.
Ron Harper hits the deck at the other end. May or may not get up. Lindsey Hunter is the guy underneath Harper.
Now look at this. All he has to do is lay it in, but he is anticipating that Scottie Pippen is going to try to block his shot.
You want to try and say anticipating again?
Anticipating. Wow. That's a tough word.
Oh, boy. Get that quick start from the caffeine.
It does get you.
Here's Harper. 5 turnovers and 6 possessions for Chicago in the quarter.
And 4 of them have been unforced. I mean, they just have turned the ball over carelessly, something you're not used to seeing with Chicago.
Medical attention being paid to Luke Longley.
And that's a concern. Though Chicago has obviously played great basketball without Luke Longley, they need his size in the playoffs.
Yeah, Phil Jackson said we can get by the first round without him, but we're not going to get into the semifinals and finals without him.
No, and I agree with that. Right now, whoever Tony Kukoc is guarding is attacking him. Jerry Stackhouse caught the ball, looked up, saw Tony Kukoc, and didn't even make a fake. Just put the ball on the floor and went by him.
Stackhouse back at the free throw line. Well, he is using all of the rim.
He is. What he'll tell you, Vern, is it's because it's a soft touch. I think he's just using all the rim.
Gets 2 for 2 this trip. 14 points for Stackhouse, and the lead is 7. It was 17 just before the break. It was 15 at the half. Here's Rodman. 5 third-quarter turnovers. Kukoc, Pippen in the lane. Offensive foul. And let's check in with Craig Sager.
Well, Luke Longley was complaining about his left knee, the same one that he was on the injured list with a knee sprain. They're putting him on the bike to see if he can continue and if it's all right to go back in the game. Obviously, if he has trouble on the bike, he'll go in the locker room and be through for the night. Vern?
All right, Craig. 6 turnovers now in 3 minutes for Chicago, and Pippen guilty of the foul. Stackhouse again.
I'm telling you, this is the best I've ever seen him play. Not only, I talked earlier about the defensive end, but also on the offensive end. He's going around everybody.
Non-shooting foul, so Detroit will inbound from the sideline.
It's almost like he's been sitting there watching Grant Hill play and watching how Grant Hill attacks the basket. So that's what he's doing. I mean, once again,
look at this. Whoa. Jerry Stackhouse has 16 points. The lead is 5. The crowd is nervous.
And his agent is standing up yelling hallelujah right now. Wow.
Thought Robert Duvall should have won the Oscar as the apostle. Harper, nope. Rebound, Stackhouse.
What's interesting, I don't think Michael Jordan has taken a shot in this half, or he's taken one and really hasn't even been involved in the offense.
Brian Williams got 2 more.
It's timeout time for Chicago.
A terrific third-quarter run ignited by Jerry Stackhouse. They've carved 12 points off the lead in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. And Luke Longley is on the bike and not on the floor.
Well, another successful neighborhood charity fair.
Yes. Wasn't it nice of those delightful rockets to help out?
Oh, I saw Akeem pitching in at the clothing drive.
And Clyde Drexler has such a way with children.
It's a peacock.
Did you have one of the brownies Brent Price made?
Well, he tried.
What happened to the other gentleman that was with him?
Soft hands. Soft hands.
You mean Rudy, too?
Oh.
Yes, such nice fellows.
No, I don't need vinyl siding. This is an apartment. I can't get away from these salesmen.
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim. This is for you. Hello. And make sure you deal with a pro, like your GMC dealer. It's closer than you think. Here, let's take a look.
You want the genuine article? GMC is a great selection. And with 1.9% APR GMAC financing for up to 36 months, it's easier than ever to get your hands on the real thing. Skip the wannabes and see a nice GMC dealer near you.
Oh, no, look at it.
Out here, we negotiate on the court. Keep it, boy. I got ball. Somebody coming off the bench to give you a rest? Because I'm busting you down. Put him up. Give it up. Put your hands up off me. Foul me, man. Foul me. What foul? Show me the blood.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by GMC, putting you comfortably in command. By Dutch Boy Paints, give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy. And by Champion, nothing matters but the game.
Now this one has turned into quite a battle, and the next one promises to be as well. The Utah Jazz go into Seattle to take on the Sonics with home court advantage in the West at stake tonight. Utah leads the season series 2-1. And the Sonics go in a half game back of Utah before the start of tonight's game. That's coming up next on TNT. It'll feature Gary Payton, among others, for the Seattle Sonics.
Yeah, and everyone's talking Michael Jordan MVP, which I think should always win it. Karl Malone. I think Gary Payton might get some votes and should get some votes.
Out of the timeout, Scottie Pippen gets the basket.
So the play worked. Whatever Phil Jackson grew up, it worked.
And you were observing Michael Jordan.
Yeah, he gave not only Dennis Rodman a tongue lashing, he gave the entire team one in that last timeout.
2-point Jerry Stackhouse. He's got 18 for the game now.
And he's on the road. And he's been driving. That time Scottie Pippen played him for the drive, and he pulled up for the jump shot.
Rodman finds Kukoc just inside the line. Stackhouse. And it goes off Jordan. Stackhouse is having a wonderful game.
He's come to play. That's the second time this half he's fought over a post and got the ball. Great defense again by Jerry Stackhouse. He's done a wonderful job on Michael Jordan. That's the other reason he's in the game.
Stackhouse goes down low. Here's Grant Hill guarded by Pippen. Pulls up and takes the jumper. Well, if it doesn't work from 2 feet, try it from 18.
You never know. What's interesting about this run, we really have not said Grant Hill's name. When was the last time in the last 2 years Detroit made a run without Grant Hill being involved?
This Detroit team trailed by 15 at the half. That was 5 minutes and 20 seconds ago. Here's Pippen to Harper.
Oh, that's a killer. Wide open layup, playing great defense. And once again, Michael Jordan has not even been involved in the offense. And I think Stackhouse has a little to do with that.
Grant Hill in the post. Jordan comes to help, and a foul is going to be called against either Pippen or Jordan. Michael Jordan, his second.
And it's amazing in the last 30 seconds how physical this game has just become. And it's not the big guys. It's Michael Jordan and Stackhouse really bumping, and Scottie Pippen and Grant Hill going at it. It's really nice to see.
Grant Hill will go to the free throw line and shoot a couple. One more. The lead is 1 at 6:16 to go, third quarter. A pensive Phil Jackson looks on. Scottie Pippen, Ron Harper. Here's Burrell off the bench, guarded by Hill. And away from the ball.
Yeah, it's Scottie Pippen and Stackhouse. I'm telling you, they're going at it. Stackhouse right now is going at it with everybody. He's physical with Michael. He's physical with Ron Harper. And now him and Scottie Pippen are going at it. And they're talking, too.
Double foul called on Pippen and Stackhouse. That's 4 fouls on Scottie Pippen. And Pippen is fouled by Stackhouse. He'll go to the free throw line.
But look at how aggressive Stackhouse. That's a great foul. That's especially a great foul after a double foul. The guy had a dunk. He was going to try to showtime, have a backwards dunk, and Stackhouse denied him the opportunity. You can see him talking.
Stackhouse picks up his 3rd.
And you know who's smiling and laughing? Joe Dumars. He just smiled, laughed, and pointed at Jerry Stackhouse and said, good job.
Now Jordan and Stackhouse start jawing at each other. And a technical foul is called on Jerry Stackhouse.
See, that's wrong. I don't agree with that call. And what he's saying is a taunting foul, and I think that's a wrong call. Both teams are talking to each other right now. You can't single out one guy, though I will say Stackhouse has done more talking than everyone else. I mean, you can watch it down here. Here is the block shot. Pippen was going to dunk, and you can see here Stackhouse talking. And he continued to talk. He gave up the ball, and he was continuing to talk all the way around the court. But so was other guys on the court. I don't think you call that. The fans can't really see it. It was not a taunting foul where he was showing up anybody. You have to allow some talking.
So back to a 4-point margin now following the technical and the 2 free throws by Pippen. Lindsey Hunter back to Grant Hill. 5:42 to go, 3rd quarter. Hill looks for the double. Little finger roll up and in.
Well, he's smart. He knows Scottie Pippen has 4 fouls. He backed him all the way down. And you can see Scottie Pippen was playing a little softer on that.
Ron Harper guarded by Hunter. Burrell. Bingo. 3-pointer.
He's found the range. He's found ways of getting his shots. And people better start paying attention to Scottie Burrell.
Now Detroit, 14 of its last 17 shots. Here's Hill. Stackhouse. 20 points for Stackhouse. Brian Williams, rather.
Dennis Rodman just put some wood on Stackhouse. And the great thing, Stackhouse came out of it laughing.
Little runner in the lane. Ron Harper has an answer. 70-65, 4:42. The Pistons carved 14 points off a 15-point deficit at the half.
Well, Ron Harper is now switched on Grant Hill because of Scottie Pippen's 4 fouls.
Skip pass in the corner. Lindsey Hunter for 3. Good ball movement.
Yeah, they're moving the ball. They're playing confident, and they're more aggressive than the Bulls so far in this second half. What a run by Detroit to get back in this game.
16 of their last 19 from the field. Michael Jordan quiet in this quarter. In the lane, quiet no more.
He heard you.
Yeah.
I think he wants to get involved in the action.
Now Grant Hill guarded by Harper again. Ron Harper with the steal, and he puts it in the hands of Michael Jordan. Penetrates, dishes out. Back to Jordan in the post. Jumper, good.
Oh, it was no doubt he was shooting that ball. He wanted to shoot it when he brought it down court, but he couldn't get it.
And it's back to a 6-point lead. This will be a Chicago timeout, and it comes with 3:25 to go in the 3rd quarter of play. Jerry Stackhouse continues to chatter.
Well, he better be careful. He's going to be out of the game. He's playing too well to be thrown out of this game.
Get the latest scores and highlights from CNN Sports Illustrated nightly at 11 Eastern on CNN.
No, I don't need vinyl siding. This is an apartment. I can't get away from these salesmen.
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim. This is for you. Hello. And make sure you deal with a pro, like your GMC dealer. It's closer than you think. Here, let's take a look.
You want the genuine article? GMC is a great selection. And with 1.9% APR GMAC financing for up to 36 months, it's easier than ever to get your hands on the real thing. Skip the wannabes and see a nice GMC dealer near you.
Oh, no, don't get it.
Every night in prime time, catch the fastest action on television in the rush hour on Speed Vision. The action starts at 9 Eastern and 10 Pacific. If you're into cars and auto racing, then tune in to Motorin' Mondays. Two-Wheel Tuesdays, the world of motorcycles. Wednesdays on water, the world of boating. Take Flight Thursdays, everything that flies. And Full Speed Fridays and weekends, the best of all Speed Vision categories. Catch the fastest action on television in the rush hour on Speed Vision.
Beep, beep.
With its unique wide track design, the Wide Track Grand Prix Sports Sedan provides better cornering and control when you're out for a bite. The Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better.
Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studio. At halftime, we showed you this collision between Andrew DeClercq and Alonzo Mourning. Head-to-head at Miami Arena tonight. The word on Alonzo Mourning is he has a fractured left cheek and will have surgery tonight. Have to wear a mask. Undetermined exactly right now how many games he will miss, but a fractured left cheek for Alonzo Mourning. They lead Boston big midway through the fourth.
All right, EJ, that's bad news for the Heat, who've been playing so well. Alonzo Mourning started this season on the injured list. And Miami now 23 of their last 27 victories. Let's go back and take a look at Detroit a moment ago.
Well, I want you to look at here and look at the spacing, first of all, in Detroit. And look at the ball movement by Detroit. They draw the double team. Jerry Stackhouse drives the basketball, and that is the key, and gets Brian Williams a wide open dunk. And it's all from ball movement and dribble penetration. They are attacking the Chicago Bulls right now.
Now Phil Jackson has put Scottie Burrell on Stackhouse. Michael Jordan guarding Dumars. Here's Brian Williams. And it's rejected. And Scottie Burrell came over and got the block. Here's Jordan at the other end. Rebound on the miss from Brian Williams. That's 9 rebounds for Williams. That equals his per-game average this season. He leads the team. Back it goes to Dumars. Jordan comes. Dumars goes underneath. Nice strong move over Burrell.
But once again, dribble penetration. That time Stackhouse went to the bucket, kicked it to Dumars, and Dumars drove.
Brian Williams 10 of 14 from the field tonight. And the margin is 4 with 2:35 to go third quarter.
And the Bulls have to go a while now. Scottie Pippen with 4 fouls. So the show will be Michael Jordan from this point on.
Lindsey Hunter guards him now and gets the steal. Here comes Stackhouse at the other end. Margin is 2.
This is a great effort from Detroit.
Pistons have not won here since January of 1990. There's Jordan, looks for Steve Kerr, and Hunter with the foul.
And here you'll see Brian Williams first gets his shot blocked, and great help by Scott Burrell. And then on the other end, again, the drive by Dumars setting up Williams. He was going to make sure that wasn't blocked.
Burrell underneath, kicks it back outside to Jordan. 1:45 to go third quarter. The Pistons have carved a 15-point deficit down to 2. Michael Jordan. Wow. With a little look and a small amount of chatter at the Detroit bench.
Yeah, and now if you get him in the fray, he's one of those guys that when he starts talking, he plays better.
Hunter for 3. Nope. Burrell. Here's Ron Harper. Here's Dennis Rodman. What a pass.
What a catch. What a catch by Dennis Rodman.
Margin is 6.
The ball never touched the floor on that break.
Dumars to Williams. Grant Hill wants it. That one's knocked out of bounds. Chicago ball.
I want you to take a look here. Look at Dennis Rodman up under the bucket. And watch him run. He's an old guy too, Vern. Wow, that's pretty good. Pretty athletic.
Kerr. Rodman. Jordan. That leaves Harper open.
Boy, they answer you every time. Scottie Pippen goes out of the game, and other guys step up. Burrell, Harper, and Rodman.
A 6-0 run now, and the margin is back to 8 in the final 25 seconds of the third quarter. Twice the Pistons were within once, 3 times within 2. Lindsey Hunter darts through, lays it up and in.
They are just attacking Chicago. You know, one thing, without Luke Longley, there's nobody there to block shots.
Michael Jordan.
Oh, my, he's talking. This is a fun game.
Back to an 8-point lead, 1.3 to go. Here's Jordan at the buzzer. Brian Williams with 22 points. Grant Hill with 21. Stackhouse with 20 off the bench. Marvelous effort by the Pistons in the third quarter, but at the end of 3, they still find themselves trailing by 8.
No, I don't need vinyl siding. This is an apartment. I can't get away from these salesmen.
I'm Jim.
Hi, Jim. This is for you. Hello. And make sure you deal with a pro, like your GMC dealer. It's closer than you think. Here, let's take a look.
You want the genuine article? GMC is a great selection. And with 1.9% APR GMAC financing for up to 36 months, it's easier than ever to get your hands on the real thing. Skip the wannabes and see a nice GMC dealer near you.
Oh, no, don't get it.
We made it! Is it still there?
There's only one mile-high taste. Coors, the original.
Say you could go back to a moment ago. Say you could change something. Anything. Make better choices. More informed decisions. Say you could see things in a new way. Gain a new perspective. Then you learn the only real competition is yourself. The Stack changed the game.
They give us heroes, they give us hope, they let us laugh and cry and fall in love. Movies touch us as few things can. Any technology that heightens the experience of watching movies at home makes life even more enjoyable.
DVD video from Philips Magnavox. Technology for the heart, the spirit, and the imagination.
Welcome back to the beautiful city of Chicago. An exciting ball game tonight, the first of our doubleheader on TNT as you look at the Wrigley Building downtown by the Chicago River. Detroit down 15 at the half. They hit 82% in the third quarter and carved it to 1 at one point, and Jerry Stackhouse led the way.
Yeah, he really did, and he did it on both ends, but he really attacked the basket. I think what showed in Jerry Stackhouse's game was that he was the most aggressive player on the court in the third quarter until the very end, and then Michael Jordan got involved.
Chicago scored 8 points in the last 90 seconds to extend the lead back to 8 points. And we get set for the final quarter. Vern Lundquist, Doc Rivers, Craig Sager with you. Stackhouse 20 points on 8 of 10 from the field and 3 rebounds. Detroit has hit 19 of its last 24 shots.
Well, you know, in the first half, we talked about them missing easy open shots. In the second half, they made those, and then they made some difficult ones also.
Michael Jordan with 20 through 3. Jerry Stackhouse remains on the floor. Will set it for Chicago now. Steve Kerr and Scottie Pippen, Jordan, Rodman, and Scott Burrell. And the 5 on the floor for the Pistons: Joe Dumars, Grant Hill, Lindsey Hunter, Stackhouse, and Brian Williams. Rodman, Jordan. Oh boy. Oh boy.
That's not good. That's not good if you're a Detroit fan right now. Someone has agitated the man.
Back to 10. Brian Williams. This one in and out. Rebound Chicago. Scott Burrell grabs it.
Scottie Pippen looks up the bench. Phil Jackson's like, get down court. Get it to him.
Any doubt who him is?
Yes.
And here comes Grant Hill off of a Jordan miss. Underneath the Stackhouse. Nice feed to Brian Williams, who's knocked down, and no foul call.
Great pass. Stackhouse is doing it all. And what's impressive with Detroit and Chicago, each team makes a run, the other team answers it. You expect that from Chicago.
Steve Kerr gets the return pass from Rodman. A little pump fake and the jumper. Rebound Grant Hill. Hill will be picked up by Pippen, who plays with 4 fouls.
Oh my!
Oh goodness!
Oh my goodness!
That's one of the best defensive players in the NBA.
Yes. And he looked a lot like Mahorn in the first half, defensively on that one.
Wow, undressed, I think, is the word. Hill and Pippen.
Even the best ones, that happens to.
Now Jordan with Stackhouse. And Jordan throws it toward Pippen. It goes a little wide right. Watch Grant Hill's quick move.
I mean, this is a shake, and you can see Scottie Pippen down in his defensive position. Gets down, and this is just a great move. Boy. And he dunks it. He was going to make sure he didn't miss another layup.
Now Pippen picks up Grant Hill again. They renew their battle, and this time he goes in the paint and will go to the free throw line.
Attacking the basket. The Pistons have done a sensational job tonight of getting to the basket. In the first half, they missed these layups and didn't get fouls. In the second half, they're drawing fouls and they're making the layups.
Grant Hill perfect at the free throw line tonight, and he's about to shoot his 10th.
And one of the keys for Detroit tonight is their spacing. The only way these guys can get to the basket if the other guys give enough space for them to do it. Now they have to make the free throws.
And that's his first miss this evening. Hill 9 of 10 from the free throw line. Now 10 of 11.
Quiet 24 points.
Yeah, well, you know, we were so caught up. He missed his first 5 shots and then 2 of his next 5. Now all of a sudden he's helping lead the way again. Here's Jordan guarded by Joe Dumars.
Right now, they have Michael Jordan forcing shots. He's gotten more involved than I think he even wants to, emotionally.
Jordan picks up Dumars. Oh, finds Grant Hill underneath.
They're not going to go away. 7-0 run by Detroit.
Boy, they have fired howitzers at each other tonight. And the lead is back to 3. It was 15 at the half. Lindsey Hunter has Pippen. Fade away, too strong. Grant Hill, good position, and Rodman's going to get called for the foul. And technical. And now Grant Hill imitates the Rodman stride.
Yes, he does.
You think that wasn't deliberate? He prances down court.
And he likes it.
Yep.
This is a pretty fun game because what's interesting, Detroit is using Chicago warfare on Chicago. They're being more physical. They're being more aggressive.
Watch Grant Hill.
Look at the run. Pretty good.
Grant Hill gets style points for that one, and then he takes time for time. Oh, to chat with some of the fans.
I mean, look at this here. I don't know how he got that pass through.
Back to a 2-point game. Pippen playing with 4 fouls. Grant Hill backs him in. Stackhouse. Oh, boy. We are tied.
Well, we've heard that he was a really good basketball player. He's proven it tonight. This is the best I've ever seen Jerry Stackhouse, and his play has Detroit's entire bench up.
Lindsey Hunter for the Detroit lead. No, but the follow from Grant Hill. First lead tonight. They've come from 17 down.
And this crowd is in shock.
Chicago has lost 3 times at home this year. Utah, Portland, and Washington. Here's Scottie Pippen to tie it back up. And that ends a 12-0 run.
And that tells you how far they have to come. A 12-0 run, and it's a high score.
Right. Back to Dumars.
See, and Scottie Pippen has to be careful. He still has 4 fouls. Does not want to pick up a quick.
Grant Hill gets the bounce up and through, and Detroit takes another lead. Grant Hill with 30 points. That's about as quiet a 30 as you'll ever see.
Yeah, that's because Stackhouse has been so loud.
Now the Pistons try and play hard defense. Pippen up and under move, can't get the ball to go, and Brian Williams grabs it for the Pistons. Dumars and Williams, Hill, Hunter, and Stackhouse. And the Pistons have called time.
And they want a 20-second here.
Jerry Stackhouse just a moment ago.
Just attacking the basket again. But once again, you have to help on Grant Hill. Jerry Stackhouse right over Scottie Pippen.
Well, the odds are so long against this Detroit team. They feel they need to win 8 out of their last 10 to grab the final playoff spot in the East.
It's at home in the Sahara. It's at home in the Australian outback. The newly redefined 1998 Isuzu Trooper. It's even at home, well, at home. Lease one now for $328 a month for 36 months with $1,998 due at lease signing. And take one home, wherever that might be.
So, guys, what do we want to do this weekend?
Let's go to the beach.
It happened at 10 till 6 on a Tuesday night, just before the steamed carrots were served.
Guys, it's important. Shh. Yes, this is Louisa. What are you saying?
A phone call she would always remember.
We got the house. We got the house.
For a free guide to help you on the path to homeownership, call the Fannie Mae Foundation. We're showing America a new way home.
The NBA's Team Up program is about volunteering to improve your community.
Well, study hard and do your best.
It's about taking time to help your neighbors. It's about lending a hand off the court.
We're going to cover the whole area today.
It's about making your community a better place. It's recognizing that the best way to help yourself is to help others. Join Ahmad Rashad and Willow Bay as they celebrate teaming up in a special edition of Inside Stuff, Saturday on NBC.
See Dumb and Dumber, Sunday at 8 on TNT.
Oh, we mentioned the race for the final playoff spot. Orlando going into play tonight had that spot, but the Magic were defeated tonight. That ends a mini streak of 2 in a row. Chuck Daly, who won his 600th the other night. The New Jersey Nets won tonight.
Big win without Jason Williams.
Jason Williams out again, but the Nets keep their hopes alive. And the Washington Wizards idle tonight, but an underachieving team for most of the year. They are battling with the Detroit Pistons for that final spot. If the playoffs started today, you'd have Chicago and Orlando, Charlotte, Atlanta, Miami, New York, and Indiana, Cleveland. Detroit would like to change that picture.
You know, Alvin Gentry told us this morning that his team really believes that they could still make the playoffs. And by the way they're playing tonight, they're proving it.
Here's Grant Hill, Scottie Pippen. 6:40 to go in regulation. Grant Hill, 2 more.
Oh, my goodness. If it's not Stackhouse, it's Grant Hill. But the thing that they're both doing is going to the bucket. They know there's no one out there that's going to block their shot.
Now the percentage of jump shots to layups has been about 4-to-1.
Now over at the timeout there, Phil Jackson was yelling at everybody about playing one-on-one about their own agenda. He said, we have to get to moving the basketball again.
Kukoc for 3. No. Rebound, Detroit. Lindsey Hunter gets it. It's a 4-point Piston lead.
Detroit must stay aggressive. What teams do against Chicago, they'll get a lead, and they'll look up at their scoreboard, and they'll stop playing aggressive.
Reach-in foul, Scottie Pippen. That's his 5th. Detroit 19 of 24 at one point in this half. Just extraordinary shooting after a cold start.
That's because most of their shots have been from 1 foot out. It's been layups, one after another.
They've hit 26 of their last 33.
And right now, Tony Kukoc is guarding Jerry Stackhouse, and that's going to be a tough matchup. And also, Scottie Pippen guarding Grant Hill. He has 5 fouls.
Randy Brown has made his first appearance of the game now. At guard, here's Stackhouse. Jump shot, the rebound, Rodman.
And I looked over at Detroit bench right after that shot, and you saw 3 of their coaches saying, drive the ball.
Foul away from the ball. Called on Jerry Stackhouse. That's his 4th.
That was one of the few bad plays of this game by Stackhouse by taking that quick jump shot when you have Kukoc on you and you can go around him.
Rodman, Kukoc, Kerr, Randy Brown, and Scottie Pippen as Michael Jordan gets a rest now. We play with 5:25 to go in regulation. Kukoc posting up. This has been a marvelous comeback by the Pistons. Here's Kukoc. Kicks it out. Ball movement to Kerr. Pump fake. Jumper. Canned it.
Well, you have to honor his three-point shooter. So Grant Hill did what he was supposed to do. He ran out at the ball. No choice.
Detroit trailed by 15 at the half. Came back to within 1 twice in the 3rd quarter. Down by 8 at the start of the 4th. Put together a 12-0 run to tie it up at 84. They now lead by 2. Lindsey Hunter, little runner too strong. Kukoc to Chicago. Kerr, left wing. Pump fake, back outside. Scottie Pippen will reload. 4:34 to go in regulation, and a chance to tie or take the lead for Chicago. Kukoc.
I think a lot of teams make a mistake guarding Tony Kukoc because he's not known as a post player. They don't show him that much respect. If you give a good basketball player 4 and 5 dribbles on the post, he's going to hurt you, and that's what Tony Kukoc is doing right now.
Chicago perfect at the free throw line thus far tonight, and Michael Jordan getting ready to come back on the floor. So also is Scott Burrell. Chance for the tie again for the Bulls.
You can see the front court scoring here. I think Bill Jackson's going to have a tough decision. Obviously, his decision was made today. He wants to start Luke Longley. He likes bringing Tony Kukoc off the bench and using Dennis Rodman in all kinds of different roles. You got 4 good basketball players right there.
We're tied again, this time at 90 with 4:25 to go. Michael Jordan back on the floor. Jordan has 22 tonight. And Detroit calls time with 4:20 remaining in regulation. Brian Williams, Grant Hill, Jerry Stackhouse have been the trio that's led the Pistons.
We made it! Is it still there?
there's only 1 Mile High taste. Coors, the original.
This month.
And now it's time to take a look at tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Rebounding edge to the Bulls, but only by 3. And look at the front court scoring, which brings to mind the way Detroit has gotten back into this ball game.
Yeah, and it hasn't been from jump shooting. And Alan Gentry said we are not a jump shooting team. We must attack the rim. And you watch here, that's all they've done in the second half. Dunk after dunk after dunk, or at least layup, being physical and playing Chicago ball attacking.
Grant Hill, 8 of 9 in the second half after a horrible start in which he was 2 of 10. He's hit his last 8 in a row.
And you know, he's played about the same in both halves. The difference is he's making the shots now. And usually Grant Hill makes those shots in the first half. It'd be interesting if they had made those shots in the first half, what kind of game this would be.
This 5 has gone the distance in the second half for Alvin Gentry. No one has rested. Lindsey Hunter, Brian Williams guarded by Rodman. Lindsey Hunter, Scott Burrell with perfect timing to knock it away.
Well, that's his second block from the help side.
And a chance now for the Bulls to reclaim the lead. At one point up by 17. That was late stages first half. Here's Jordan. Back to Kukoc. And Rodman. Burrell. Air ball. Grant Hill hurries it. Here's Stackhouse with Randy Brown back.
Lost the ball.
Sure did.
He had a great opportunity at 2-on-1, and they didn't convert.
Lindsey Hunter saves it and finds Grant Hill. Jordan guards him, and the quick hands of Michael Jordan trying to take it away.
Boy, that's warfare right there. Grant Hill is showing a lot today. A lot of people say that Grant Hill is not a physical player. Well, he is being physical right now. I mean, this is physical basketball. Look at the bumping right here between Grant Hill and Michael Jordan. I mean, bam, going right at it. That's smart, strong basketball. Now Michael has to guard it.
Right, before the shot. So, Detroit inbounds. Here's Dumars for Hill. Now Jordan leans into him again. 3:07 to go regulation.
Well, they're putting Jordan on him because Scottie Pippen has 5 fouls.
Grant Hill misses the shot.
Boy, that was a late whistle.
And it's on Jordan. That's his 4th.
Now he has 4. Grant Hill was responsible for Pippen having 5, and now Jordan having 4. Let's take a look here. It was a late whistle.
I think they called him for putting the hip in.
Yeah, what they're saying is when Grant Hill was coming down, Michael Jordan cut his leg from under it. Oh, boy.
Grant Hill has missed 2 of his last 3 from the free throw line, having been perfect until that point.
Scottie Pippen returns to the game, and it'll be interesting what Phil Jackson does. If he'll keep Michael Jordan on Grant Hill, or will he gamble with Pippen on Grant Hill with 5 fouls?
Grant Hill upset with himself for missing 1. He hits the second, and the Pistons lead by 1. Now Lindsey Hunter, Steve Kerr, Jordan, Pippen, Rodman, and Kukoc for Chicago.
You can see the energy right now that Detroit's playing with.
Williams comes to help. Rodman gets the pass and the rebound.
You got to foul Dennis Rodman. You cannot allow him to have a layup. Make him shoot 2 free throws. He's a 55% free throw shooter. That's unexcusable right there. They cannot allow that.
And as a result of the uncontested layup, Chicago reclaims a lead with 2:28 to go. Kukoc comes on Williams. Now Hunter. Grant Hill. Jordan continues to guard him. Hill goes baseline and loses it.
Michael Jordan is doing a good job of getting his hands on the basketball. Watch him reach. He's reaching and he's deflecting the ball, and he's causing Grant Hill problems by doing that.
One-point Chicago lead, 2:07 to go. Kukoc. Pippen at the 2-minute mark. Rodman clears it for Chicago.
That's where they kill you with Dennis Rodman.
That's 12 rebounds for Rodman tonight. Again, leading the NBA in that category with 15 per game. Now Pippen. Back to Kukoc. Hill has him. Too strong. Tipped. Loose ball. Chicago saves it. Jordan misses.
Wow.
Here comes Lindsey Hunter. Dumars spots up for 3. Takes the jumper.
Wow.
Got it!
Oh, my. Oh, you knew Joe Dumars was going to make that shot.
Jordan misses on the slam dunk.
And Dumars just sits and waits.
Let's start with the brewmaster for just a moment. The brewmaster is the chef, and that is the key brewmaster role, to understand the blending of his or her ingredients. Not only he or she tastes the beer every day, there's another person who tastes the beer every day, and that is me. The ability to have hands-on brewmasters working with the finest ingredients gives you Budweiser.
It's at home in the Sahara. It's at home in the Australian outback. The newly redefined 1998 Isuzu Trooper. It's even at home, well, at home. Lease one now for $328 a month for 36 months with $1,998 due at lease signing. And take one home, wherever that might be.
Golf's not hard. Next week, basic tips on difficult shots.
Doubleheader, and those guys out in Seattle will have to go some to match the caliber of this game, but it does have potential, does it not? The Utah Jazz go into Seattle at Key Arena. That's coming next. The NBA on TNT. Let's reset for you now. Detroit with 3 full timeouts. Chicago has 2, neither team with a 20, and the Pistons have 1 foul to give. Michael Jordan scoreless in the last 8 minutes and 15 seconds, and Pippen has gone through a 6-minute, 15-second drought.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Scottie Pippen has really not been aggressive towards the basket, and Michael Jordan has gotten there. He just missed the dunk.
Jordan's dunk rebounded by Williams, and then Dumars spotted up for the 3, his first 3-pointer that he's made tonight. Michael Jordan to answer. Loose ball foul called against Chicago. And an exasperated Michael Jordan out in 3-point area.
Yeah, that was a quick shot for Michael. You don't see him do that very often. And you can see here, look at the bottom of your screen. You're going to watch Tony Kukoc push right there. And that's where the foul was. It wasn't much of a push. Good acting job, perhaps.
More like a nudge.
Yes. It's been more nudging in this game than that.
Detroit 18 of 22 at the line. Williams 2 for 2 tonight.
Oh, big free throws here. Because the way the game is going, it's really tough to see if Chicago can stop Detroit from scoring. Who would have thought we'd ever say that, especially in the first half?
Chicago lost here once in November, once in January, once in February. That was to Portland. 1 of 2 for Brian Williams. A 3-point lead as we near the 1-minute mark.
And Detroit still has a foul to give. I don't know if they know that.
They should. Dumars, yes, they do.
Yeah, they did.
Yep. First foul on Dumars tonight, 53.5 remaining in regulation.
Boy, that is, you know what's going on right now? You think trainers don't mean a lot?
Mike Abdenauer.
He see that Joe Dumars got hit. So he stood up and pointed out on the floor that there was sweat on the floor. He was trying to buy time for Joe Dumars. That is pretty smart.
Mike Abdenauer, the Detroit trainer for a long, long time.
Jazz Sonics next. The NBA's on TNT.
It's at home in the Sahara. It's at home in the Australian outback. The newly redefined 1998 Isuzu Trooper. It's even at home, well, at home. Lease one now for $328 a month for 36 months with $1,998 due at lease signing. And take one home, wherever that might be.
With AT&T One Rate, it costs $2.40 to make a 16-minute call from Miami to Chicago. With 10321, it's $4.47. With One Rate, it costs $1.20 to make an 8-minute call from Boston to Dallas. With 10321, it's $2.23. Surprised? Don't be. Most calls from home cost less with One Rate, without dialing any extra digits. Now, what state would you rather be in? If you don't have One Rate, get it today.
Do you think you're getting the best shave? Take the Sensor XL Challenge. We bet you can't find a closer, safer shave than Sensor XL. No other razor has Sensor XL soft microfins for extra protection and self-adjusting blades for extra closeness. Take the Sensor XL Challenge. Once you experience the safest way to the closest shave, we bet you won't go back. Gillette Sensor XL.
Chicago again this season with the best home record in the NBA, and this game has implications in terms of ultimate home court advantage. They currently have the best record in the NBA. Utah and Seattle, that game coming up next, as those three teams right now battle at least momentarily for the top record in the league.
Yeah, this game has a lot of meaning. And not only the fact that Chicago right now is down and could lose this game and maybe lose home court throughout if they lose it to Utah or Seattle, but what if Detroit makes it to that 8th spot, plays Chicago in the first round, having beaten them the last time they played in Chicago? That would mean a lot also.
Alvin Gentry smiling as the teams come back on the floor. Craig Sager telling us that Joe Dumars got hit in the ribs. Thus the timeout. He's fine. He's back on the floor.
Well, you can see Detroit didn't want to use that timeout. They were trying to stall by saying that they were sweating on the floor, but the refs are too wise, and they didn't allow it.
3-point margin. It's in the hands of the 3-point shooter, Steve Kerr. Plenty of time left, 45 seconds. Michael Jordan has missed his last 4. Rodman is fouled.
See, Joe Dumars is a smart basketball player, and that's a smart foul. Put Dennis Rodman on the line. I guarantee you the Bulls did not want Dennis Rodman with the ball in that situation.
Rodman gets it and shoots 2 with 41.8 remaining in regulation time.
Well, Dennis Rodman's a 55% or 51% free throw shooter.
Randy Brown getting to come in now. And Scott Burrell also will come on the floor, and Kukoc and Steve Kerr go out.
Well, Phil Jackson right now is going pure defense. He needs a stop. And he needs Dennis Rodman to act like he wants to make this free throw and make it.
Got the roll, 1 of 2.
Well, I tell you what, if that comes off, Michael Jordan had it.
The lead is 2. We're under 40 seconds to play. Pippen plays with 5 fouls. Here's Grant Hill, Lindsey Hunter. Joe Dumars guarded by Randy Brown. Jerry Stackhouse picked up by Burrell. Spin move. Nice strong move. Block.
Again by Scott Burrell.
That's 3 blocks for Burrell. Jordan underneath. Brown fouled.
Smart foul again. Randy Brown had a layup. Foul him. Make him earn him on the line. Smart play by Jerry Stackhouse, being aggressive. And you can see Scott Burrell getting his hand on the ball again. That's the 3rd block shot tonight from Scott Burrell. And then down on the other end, no timeout from Chicago, attacking. Michael Jordan finding the open man.
Randy Brown with a chance to tie. Boy, that one
didn't look good.
Oh, no.
Tell you what, when that left his hand burn, I didn't think it was going to hit the rim.
No.
And it's smart. Randy Brown is not used to being in this situation shooting free throws. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen are putting Randy Brown on the line. I think it's a smart move by Detroit.
They tied. Rodman made 1 of 2. Randy Brown makes 2 of 2. 14.6 seconds left in regulation.
While we could give you a lot of reasons to buy performance friction carbon metallic disc brake pads from AutoZone, perhaps the most compelling is this. They simply stop shorter than any brand we've ever tested. Performance friction carbon metallic. Ask for them at AutoZone.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. Got to see that's how I dream to be. Boom, 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 boom.
I dream I move.
I move.
I dream I groove.
Like Mike.
If I could be like Mike. If I could be like...
What's up, Mike?
I'm not going to sing.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By Isuzu, builders of the completely reinvented 1998 Isuzu Rodeo. Isuzu, go farther. By AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. By AT&T, it's all within your reach. And by Nike.
Chicago best home record in the NBA, trying to get a victory tonight. They'll have to earn it the hard way against the Detroit team that has fought back from 17 down. Detroit has 1 full timeout left. The Bulls have 2.
Yeah, and I think what Detroit wants to do is take the last shot. They have the ball. They have 2 great ISO players in Grant Hill and Jerry Stackhouse. Joe Dumars will make spot-up jump shots in the games. He's proven that in his career. So I don't know which one will get it, but either Stackhouse or Grant Hill will get this ball in an ISO situation, and they'll milk the clock and dare Chicago to double team.
Ryan Williams, Lindsey Hunter, and Joe Dumars are on the floor. Along with them, Randy Brown, Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Scott Burrell, and Dennis Rodman. Craig Sager.
Well, they're trying to get the ball to Grant Hill's hands and a back pick for an isolation. The ball's in Grant Hill's hands to win it.
Grant Hill, 6 on the clock. Michael Jordan guards him. The runner, no! Overtime.
Smart play by both teams. No double team. Phil Jackson decided Michael Jordan is going to guard Grant Hill one-on-one. Alvin Gentry decided Grant Hill was going to take the last shot, and Detroit was going to take the last shot, forcing an overtime if he missed. I think it was smart by both coaches. You can get a look here. All they wanted was Grant Hill in an ISO situation and to make sure he takes the last shot. And you can see here, Michael Jordan all the way by himself. Great defense, no foul. Not a bad shot from Grant Hill. Not where he wanted it on the floor, though.
Randy Brown came over and helped a little bit waved at him as he went by.
Yeah, that was solid defense from Chicago. Really forced Grant Hill into a tough shot. Michael Jordan, when he wants to, is still the best defender in this league.
I think he wanted to then.
Yeah. He's not ready to pass the torch.
Douse it. 95-95. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen scoreless over the last half. Well, here we are, updated. 7:35 for Pippen, 11:35 since Michael Jordan got his last basket.
Yeah, and what's interesting, I don't think either one of them has really been involved. You know, Alvin Gentry told us something this morning. He said, I'm going to use a heat index on Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, and I think he used it on both of them. And what he's deciding is he's going to double team them every time they touch the ball and make somebody else beat them. And right now, Dennis Rodman makes the one free throw, Randy Brown makes the other two free throws, and that's what's keeping the Bulls in the game.
Well, of course, we've got a second game of our doubleheader that's coming up as soon as this one is complete. The Utah Jazz and the Seattle Sonics, only a half game separates the two of them going into play tonight as we head into the final 10 games of the regular season and teams position themselves for the playoffs. So that's a game of great significance, Utah and Seattle, when our game is over. In the meantime, overtime. Jerry Stackhouse with a wonderful game tonight. This season, Detroit at 3-3 and Chicago 3-1.
Well, the stat I keep looking at and thinking about in Detroit's case, they've gone into the fourth quarter 19 times with leads and have lost those 19 games. So you worry about them. This is where they have struggled in the past, is down the stretch. The difference is instead of settling for jump shots, Detroit has decided we're not a jump shooting team. We're a team that can drive the ball to the basket, and they continue to do it throughout the second half.
Only one field goal in the last 6.5 minutes for the Pistons. That came from Joe Dumars. That was huge. That was the three-pointer that put them up by 2 at the time. Here's Grant Hill again, guarded by Jordan.
Again, foul trouble is still paramount for the Bulls.
Pippen plays with 5.
Travel.
Yep.
You know, he wanted to shoot that, and then at the last second, he saw Jerry Stackhouse, and that's why he traveled. And Grant Hill thinks he was pushed a little bit from Michael Jordan. He might be right.
Yeah, I think there's a probability.
Yes.
Fair to middling chance. 4.5 to go in overtime. Here's Kukoc. Michael Jordan asks for it. Dumars guards it. Drought continues.
Well, they're fortunate there. You cannot give Michael Jordan that much time.
Jordan has missed his last 5. Dumars continues to guard him. Here's Pippen. Drought continues.
Oh, my.
And another fresh 24. Pippen passes on the 3. Stackhouse comes out to defend. Kukoc for 3. Drought continues. Here's Lindsey Hunter. Pippen is back. He's got 5 fouls. Hunter chooses not to go to the basket.
And their 3 key players had 3 key shots.
Dumars, no. Brian Williams and Rodman battled for it. Chicago ball.
Dennis Rodman. He's one of the few players that does not have to score and can get the crowd clapping. I mean, he's doing this with effort.
Rodman with 17 rebounds. Steve Kerr. Scottie Pippen from Rodman. 5 on the shot clock. Hunter guards Kerr, who throws it up, an air ball. At the other end is Dumars. They threw it away. Brian Williams.
That's the second time that Brian Williams has thrown the ball away. The ball is so important in overtime games.
No score in nearly the first 2 minutes. Kukoc to Pippen. Now Jordan, who's missed 5 in a row. Pippen for 3. Killer.
I was just going to make the comment that I don't think Scottie Pippen is looking for his shot. I'm glad I didn't say it.
2:40 to go in overtime. Jerry Stackhouse for three, no.
That's not a good shot. Detroit is no longer attacking the basket. They have to get back to that.
Joey Crawford wants some help with a call. Dumars and Jordan were back. Alvin Gentry is furious.
Clear demand. Personal foul, Dumars.
Foul is called on Dumars.
And we're going to get a look at the foul here, Vern. I think what they're saying is that it's a breakaway, that Michael Jordan had a clear path to the basket and everybody was behind him. The refs disagree.
Here's Jordan.
Well, actually, the refs agree.
Yeah, right.
He's getting the 2 free throw shots. They are not in penalty. That's a close call. I think it's a right call, actually, but it's awful close.
His first 2 points in 16 minutes. A huge 3 from Pippen, 2 free throws from Jordan. The Magic men are back.
I started with the original Rogaine. I wanted to fix this, and Rogaine was starting to work. But they said, Mike, switch over to the new Rogaine. That's when my hair coach started noticing.
Looks good, Dad.
With this new extra strength for men, they say 45% more hair is the average. I think I'm gonna beat that. Every Sunday, I got 60,000 friends staring at my head, so more hair is a big win.
The new Rogaine, 45% more hair.
I mean, consider the alternative.
Time is skating by. Feel the pressure mount. Make the moment count. Score with more NHL Center Ice as the coolest game on Earth's stretch run accelerates into overdrive. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get the rest of the regular season plus next year for the special low price of just $119 or 4 interest-free monthly payments of $29.75. Don't miss this limited time offer to follow your NHL favorites and Nagano's heroes through the rest of this season plus next year. Hasek, Bure, Gretzky, Solani, Madonna, and many more. Call right now and you'll receive a free subscription to On, the official magazine of DirecTV Sports. Lord Stanley's Cup is on the line. Be there for all the action through $98.99. Call 1-800-GET-SPORTS and get the best of the NHL at the lowest possible price. Just $119 for the rest of the regular season and all of next year. It's NHL Center Ice on DirecTV Sports.
Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studio. Remember, still to come, the Jazz and the Sonics, Vin Baker in Seattle, a showdown with Karl Malone and the Utah Jazz. But overtime continues in Chicago. Vernon Dock.
Now, Scottie Pippen with a 3-pointer, and Michael Jordan on the breakaway foul hits both free throws. Grant Hill's going to do some tidying up.
He's doing everything tonight. And you can see the last play. This is the call. Clear path to the basket. Someone has to be in front of Michael Jordan if Joe Dumars is going to make that foul. No one was. Michael Jordan gets 2 free throws, and it was a good call.
Remember how hot the Pistons were through the 3rd quarter and most of the 4th? They've now gone almost 9 minutes with hitting 1 field goal.
Well, that's because they're not attacking the basket anymore. They're not driving. They're shooting jump shots.
Lindsey Hunter guarded by Steve Kerr. On the line, Detroit ball. No foul.
Alvin Gentry can't believe that there was no call on that play. Actually, I thought Burrell was there, but he was in the paint, and that's why they didn't call anything. He was inside the dotted line.
Dumars inbounds to Grant Hill. Jordan guards it. Grant Hill goes baseline. Scottie Pippen has to give way because he's playing with 5 fouls. And Grant Hill has 35 points tonight. The lead is 3.
See, I told you he's going to be the next guy with the torch because he's playing well.
Jordan, first field goal in his last 6 shots.
Boy, you don't see this very often. Joe Dumars is going at Brian Williams right now. On that last play, Jordan was wide open because Joe Dumars was picked off. Williams did not help.
1:40 to go in OT. Hill gets a pick from Brian Williams. Makes it strong, puts it up. My gracious.
Detroit's being aggressive again. Or Grant Hill's being aggressive.
Grant Hill has hit 10 of his last 11 shots. 3-point margin, 1:25 to go. This quintet on the floor for Detroit has played every minute of the second half and overtime. Rodman. Underneath the Pippen. Oh, boy!
What you can do, I can do better. That's what this game is about. Each play is better.
Jordan is called for the foul. That's 5 on Michael Jordan. And the Rodman pass a moment ago.
What a nice pass here. That's in traffic on the dime. And Grant Hill being a little creative, you think?
Turnover. Steve Kerr takes it away. Under a minute in OT, and the Bulls lead by 5.
Detroit must get a stop right here.
Pistons have turned it over 3 times in the overtime. 8 on the shot clock. Jordan fadeaway. Another offensive board and a foul on the Pistons.
The offensive boards in this overtime are killing the Pistons. For 4 quarters, Detroit did a nice job rebounding, and in this overtime, it's been all Chicago on the board.
Scott Burrell gets it in the hands of Rodman, who finds Scottie Pippen, his 3-pointer, the biggest basket of the overtime period. Gave the Bulls a lead they've not relinquished. In and out.
Oh, another one.
Six fouls on Stackhouse. And Rodman milks the moment.
He should, because he's dominated this overtime without scoring a bucket. And that's pretty impressive.
Now Steve Henson is going to make his first appearance in the ball game. Signed to a couple of 10-day contracts, and then for the season, the former star at Kansas State. And Rodman applied.
I was reading about Dennis Rodman this morning, and one of his statements is that I have interest again in the game. You know, he was saying he's losing some interest.
Right.
He says he has it back, and he's the MVP of this overtime. Dennis Rodman has been phenomenal. And this is another tough loss for Detroit. They lose to Cleveland on a 3-point prayer from Wesley Person, and then again here when I thought they outplayed the Bulls in the second half.
Bulls have missed 1 free throw tonight. They're 22 of 23. The one miss was Rodman. Of course. Steve Henson. A 4th turnover for Detroit. And Chicago counters with the turnover at its own. Well, this is bad news not only for Miami, Indiana in the East, but for Utah and Seattle in the West. Bulls are going to win this again.
With AT&T One Rate, it costs $2.40 to make a 16-minute call from Miami to Chicago. With 10321, it's $4.47. With one rate, it costs $1.20 to make an 8-minute call from Boston to Dallas. With 10321, it's $2.23. Surprised? Don't be. Most calls from home cost less with one rate, without dialing any extra digits. Now, what state would you rather be in? If you don't have one rate, get it today.
Traveling along, singing a song, side by side.
Want lobster? How about shrimp? Have both for only $11.99. Right now at Red Lobster, shrimp and lobster are together, side by side, for one very enticing price. So grab some food before this offer ends and enjoy. Because life on land is dry.
I can't give up. I can't stop trying to fly. I can't get down.
Hello?
Not going anywhere for a while? Grab a Snickers, because nothing handles your hunger better.
Oh, hey, little man. Think you can run inside and tell somebody to get some... Hey!
Hungry? Why wait?
Second game of the doubleheader coming up from Seattle, the Utah Jazz and the Seattle Sonics. Game 2, the NBA on TNT, Detroit, and a really difficult road for the end of the season.
Yeah, I don't think they can, to be honest. If they're trying to win 8 out of 10, I think that's really tough. They got Chicago again. They have the Lakers. They just have a tough schedule. And they lost so many close games this year, and those close games are going to come back and haunt them.
Tonight will be the 20th game this season in which they have either held the lead or been tied in the fourth quarter and lost.
Yeah, and you don't go to the playoffs with numbers like that. And it's obvious. What screams out to me is you see the athletes on the Detroit Pistons. Grant Hill can get to the bucket almost on anybody whenever he wants to. What they don't have is outside shooting, and they need it desperately. Terry Mills, they need you.
Now Rick Sun saying that's one of the focal points of the summer will be to find outside shooting for this team.
When you look at this franchise and the Pistons over the last 2 years, what if they had Terry Mills and what if they still had Allen Houston? What type of team would this be?
Jerry Stackhouse with a big night tonight, but he just fouled out. 106-99. Joe Dumars and Michael Jordan chatting amiably with each other now.
Yeah, that's nice because they went to war with each other, yet they can laugh and smile about it now.
Just a little class in those two men.
Yes.
Michael smiles a little wider.
Yeah, the score's a little wider.
Steve Henson. Grant Hill. Air ball. Put back. Brian Williams. This one's over, but it was a struggle for the Bulls. They go 33-3 at home. They lost a 17-point lead and trailed by as many as 4. They were down 95-92 with less than a minute to go. But they come back. 2 free throws from Randy Brown and 1 from Dennis Rodman, and they tie it up.